Okay, so I'm gonna go through a new paper today. This paper is the Sekolah Agama trial paper, right? It's the Addmaths paper 2 for trial 2023, right? Last video I already did the paper 1, so this video I'm doing the paper 2. Okay, so let's go. Okay, this is the formula. All right, question number 1. Okay, let's read the question. Express the quadratic function y equals to this thing in this form. All right, this form we call it vertex form, right? Vertex form. And in order to change to vertex form, we have to make sure our equation is in general form first, and then we do completing the square to change to this form, right? So the A question says state the minimum point of quadratic function y. Okay, how do we find minimum point? Well, change to vertex form. After we change to vertex form, the B and the C will tell us the minimum point coordinate. The A will tell us it's a minimum or maximum, right? Because A will tell you actually the shape is either a U shape or N shape. If it's U shape, it's minimum. If N shape, is maximum. That's what the A will tell us. But the B and C will tell us the exact X coordinate and the Y coordinate, all right? So first thing first is I have to make sure my equation is in general form. Yeah, so that I can do completing the square to change to vertex form. So what I will do now is I will write down y equals 1 over 2, and I will expand all of this, right? Because I want it in general form first. So what I will do is I will open a bracket and expand this. The fastest way to expand this is taking the depan square. So you get x square, and then depan darab belakang darab 2. So x times 5 is 5x, times 2 is 10x, and then the last step is belakang square, which is 25. Okay, this is the correct way to expand, all right? And it's also the fastest way. And then plus with x minus 7 square, well, do the same thing. Depan square, so depan is x, so depan square is x square. And then depan darab belakang darab 2. So depan is x, belakang is -7. When you times them together, you get -7x, and then times 2, -14x. The last step is belakang square, which is +49, right? Of course, you can expand slowly, which is like that, x minus 7, and then you do like this one by one, right? Can also you end up the same thing, all right? But I will do fast lah. All right, after you split here, now it's time to simplify inside, right? Because if you look at inside the bracket, there's something you can do here. X squared plus x squared, 2x squared, 10x minus 14x, -4x, 25 plus 49. You can use your calculator to help you. Let me press my calculator. All right, my calculator gives me 74. So you just write it there, 74. And then the 1 over 2, I have to times with everyone inside the bracket. So you will get x squared times 1 over 2 means divide 2. So 2 divided 2 is 1. 4 divided 2 is 2x. 74 divided 2, I think it's 37. All right. So you end up with this quadratic function, which is already in general form. Now we can try to change to vertex form. And the method to do it is by using completing the square. Okay, before doing completing the square, you have to make sure the A is +1. This question, the A is already +1. So I don't have to factorize anything, right? I don't have to divide anything. I will straight away do completing the square, which is I will take x squared minus 2x. I will leave an empty space plus 37 and then leave some empty space here. And in this empty space, I'll write plus bracket square and minus bracket square. And inside this bracket, I have to write b over 2, which in this case, it's -2 over 2. This is also -2 over 2, right? Because the b is -2. And then continue here. Now what I will do is I will ignore this -2x. Don't look at it, right? Just ignore this. Just focus on this and this. So they both have square. So what I will do is I'll write x inside, square on the outside. -2 divided 2, I'll write inside. -2 divided 2 is -1. So the one I write inside. The square I write outside. And then plus 37. And then this one is minus, so my one is also minus. Just follow, right? Okay, and then -2 divided 2 is -1. But this time you have to square it. So -1 squared is +1. So you write +1, right? But there's still another minus outside, right? That's why you have to write minus here. So now you end up with x minus 1 square plus 37 minus 1, which is plus 36. All right. So there you have it. This is the what we call the vertex form. But soalan A, they ask, okay, the first thing the question wants you to do is express in vertex form, which I already did. It's already sudah siap already. But then the A says state the minimum point, right? So my A answer would be, okay, this is not my A answer, right? This vertex form is just the number 1 answer. So the A I won't write here, right? Because number 1, they ask you to convert to this form, right? So my A answer should be the minimum point, right? So I will just write the word minimum point, and then I'll just open a bracket and then write down the coordinate. And the coordinate we can butcher from our vertex form, right? So -1, when you take out, remember that one have to tukar tanda. So -1 become +1, and then 36, just write it here, right? So the minimum point coordinate is 136. Okay, that's all. All right, that's my A. Now it's time to do B. If the curve is reflected about x-axis, find the range of values of A. Okay, actually, I think there's something wrong with this question, right? Let me tell you why there's something wrong. Okay, when we reflect the curve about x-axis, it doesn't matter whether it's this case, or this case, right? Because your curve might have two roots. It means two x-intercept, or it might have one root, or it might have no roots. It means doesn't have any x-intercept. But it doesn't matter which case. When you reflect x-axis, you will end up how to say, the whole shape will change from a U shape to N shape. Do you agree? Right? Like, can you see? Doesn't matter which case, when you reflect about x-axis, you will end up, the shape will completely flip upside down. It means the U shape will change to N shape. And we actually know what is the A value. It will be -1. All right, it will be -1. The exact value of A will be -1, right? Because the original value of A is +1. So when you reflect, the A value will exactly stay the same because the width of the curve never change. It's just that the whole thing flip over. So the A will change from +1 to -1, right? But of course, if the original one is +2, then once you reflect about x-axis, it will become -2, right? Yeah, it makes sense, all right? But then there's some, why I say there's something wrong with this question is because they never ask you to find values of A. They want to find range. And whenever you find range, you shouldn't have, your answer shouldn't have the equal, because range means your answer will either have smaller, bigger, smaller, something like that. Yeah, this kind of symbol should exist in your final answer when they ask you to find range. So I think by writing the exact value of A, it doesn't help us to get the marks, right? So instead of writing A -1, I'll write like this: A smaller 0, right? Because from the example I show you just now, you already know, uh, doesn't matter how many roots the curve have. When you reflect x-axis, you will end up with a N-shaped curve. And when it's N-shaped, the A must be negative. So instead of writing A equals -1, I just write A small 0. Okay, but deep down, I actually know the exact value of A, which is -1. But since the question asks us for the range, so I think I'll just write A smaller than 0. Right? So yep, hope you understand. Let's continue number 2. Number 2A, they want you to prove. Okay, whenever we do proving type of question, we always start from either side, right? You can either start from left-hand side or the right-hand side. But I always advise to start from the more complicated side, right? So which one is the more complicated side? I can tell is the left-hand side. So I will start writing the left-hand side, n factorial over n minus 2 factorial. And then now I have to try to change the left-hand side to the right-hand side by myself, right? And if I manage to change the left hand side to right hand side, then only I can write the word proven. Okay. So before I do that, we need to understand what is factorial first, right? Factorial is, let's say if I give you 5 factorial, it's actually 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then 4 factorial will be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 3 factorial will be 3 times 2 times 1. So I think you get the idea, right? So 2 factorial will be 2 times 1, right? So what is n factorial? N factorial. So if I ask you n factorial, it's actually n multiply with the number before n, which is n minus 1, and then n minus 2, and then it keeps going until you reach 1. Do you agree? Right? That's what n factorial means, right? But instead of writing it like this, we can also write it in a different way. So instead of writing like previously, I will write n multiplied by n minus 1 factorial, right? Okay, let's think about it. If I say 5 factorial, it means what? 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? But can you see 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is actually the same with 4 factorial. So we can say 5 factorial is actually 5 times 4 factorial. Do you agree? Same with the 3 factorial. 3 factorial is actually 3 times 2 times 1, but we all know 2 times 1 is 2 factorial. It means 3 factorial is 3 times 2 factorial, right? That is why we can conclude n factorial, we can generalize lah. The formula will be n factorial equals to n multiplied with n minus 1 factorial. So this is the formula that we will be using to prove this. Okay, so let's do this. N factorial, n minus 2 factorial. So n factorial is actually what? N multiplied with n minus 1 factorial, right? Do you agree? Okay, and then bawah will be n minus 2 factorial. But in order to make sure I can potong, because when we try to prove, we have to change to the right hand side. And if you look clearly at the right hand side, there's no fraction. So it means there must be some ways for me to potong this n minus 2 factorial, right? So what I will do is I will take the n minus 1 factorial and I will use this formula again to break it down again. So n minus 1 factorial is actually n minus 1 multiplied with n minus 2 factorial. Do you agree? Okay, because of this formula, right? Because if your n here is n minus 1, then it will be n minus 1 multiplied with the number before, which is n minus 2 factorial. And the reason I do this is because I want to potong, I want to cut this and I cut this, right? So once I cut, I will just left with n bracket n minus 1, right? And what happens when you expand the n minus 1? You will end up with n squared minus n, which is exactly the same as right hand side. And now you can write the word proven, right? Because you already successfully prove from the left hand side and you end with the right hand side. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, let's go to B. All right, so this is definitely a permutation combination chapter punya soalan lah. Okay, let's read B. A school debate consists of 6 debaters who are to be selected. So definitely it's a combination question because the keyword here is select. Select means choose. It means order is not important. So we will be using combination. Okay, 6 debaters choosing from 11 boys, 9 girls. It means total got 20. Okay, 20. It consists of 11 boys, 9 girls, right? But we are only choosing 6, right? So find the number of difference of ways which consists of girls only. Okay, if no condition, the answer will be 20C6. If no condition, because we are choosing 6 out of 20. What does it mean by no condition? No condition means semua boy pun boleh, semua girl pun boleh, half girl, half boy pun boleh, ataupun 4 boy pun boleh, 2 girl, like whatever lah, means no condition. Alright, campur pun boleh, semua boy pun boleh, tak ada campur pun boleh, apa pun boleh. Right? That's what it means by no condition. But the question one says girls only. So if they want girls only, it means I cannot take 20C6, right? I have to do it girls only. So if consists of girls only, it means from 11 boy, I have to choose 0, right? Because all girls, right? All girls. And then out of the 9 girl, I have to choose 6, right? This is what it means, right? And after you press this, you get the answer straight, right? Okay, the calculator give me here is 84, right? 84, right? So yep, that's the answer. Okay, okay, let's do question number 2. At least 5 boys. Okay, let's list down the option first. If at least 5 boys, it means it has to be 5 boys or more than 5 boys. That's what it means by at least. So it's either you end up with 5 boys, okay, but to cukupkan 6, you have to plus 1, right? Because 5 boy. So it's either 5 boy, 1 girl, or it can be 6 boy, 0 girl, right? It cannot be 7 boy because it's not possible, right? Because it's only consists of 6 in total, right? So it's either this or this. So what you do is you do this one and then do this one and then plus in the middle, right? Because it's this option ataupun this option. So when it's atau or, you will plus, right? But inside here you will times. So 11 boy, you will choose 5 times with 9, choose 1. And then out of 11 boy, choose 6. So 11C6, 9C0, right? It means 5 boy and 1 girl or 6 boy and 0 girl, right? That's why inside bracket you times because it's n, but outside the bracket you plus. Okay, press the whole thing now and you will get the answer. Let me press my calculator. 11C5 times 9 plus 11C6 times 1. All right, my calculator give me 4620. So that should be the final answer. All right, hope you understand. Okay, let's write nicely. This one is 0. Okay, done already. Let's continue. Okay, number 3 is another proving question. Okay, but this one is like they want you to prove the quadratic formula, right? So let's read the question, right? So they want you to given ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so we can actually use this as information, right? Because it's given in the question, right? So we will use this information, and then by using completing the square method, show that x equals to negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. So this is actually the quadratic formula. So we are trying to prove the quadratic formula, but by using completing the square method. So how do we do it? Okay, we cannot use this as information because this is the answer, right? Because this is a show question. Show question means they will give you the answer in the soalan and you have to show them how to get there, right? So you have to show them the working lah, basically. So what I will do is I'll have to buat tak nampak this formula and I can only use this. This is my only information and I have to make sure my final baris is same as this. But they already give us a clue here. You have to use completing the square. So let's do that. Let's do completing the square, right? And don't forget, you're finding x, you only want x on this side, right? So what I'm gonna do here is do completing the square. But we all know when we do completing the square, the a must be positive 1. Am I right? The A must be positive 1. So if the A must be positive 1 means everything have to divide by A. So it will be x squared plus, okay. I have to write the A, right? Because I'm dividing by A. So A and then divide A, which is x squared, divide A, which is B over AX. And then this will be C over A equals 0. Okay. And now what I will do now is A big bracket, and then I will start doing completing the square, which is I will take x squared plus B over AX, and I will leave an empty space here plus C over A, leave an empty space here, close bracket equals 0. And this bracket here, you have to write something, right? Plus bracket square, minus bracket square. What do you have to write inside? It will be B over 2. The B you have to refer beside here, which is B over A, but you still have to over 2. So I will just write times 1 over 2. Because divide 2 and times 1 over 2 is the same thing. Same thing here, I have to take B over 2, but my B is B over A. So I have to B over A and then divide 2. But divide 2 is, I will write times 1 over 2. Times 1 over 2 means divide 2. After I reach here, it will be A, big bracket. I will ignore this. All right. Don't look at this one. Just ignore it. Okay. Just focus on this and this, right? So this one is x squared. It means I will write x inside the bracket. I'll write square outside. And then what about this? B over A times 1 over 2. Atas darab atas, bawah darab bawah, which is B over 2A. And then what about the square? Okay, the square is fine. I already write outside the bracket. Okay. And then what about here? It will be C over A minus. Okay, this one you already do it just now. B over A times 1 over 2 is just B over 2A. And what is B over 2A square? It will be B square over 4A square. Okay, because B square is B square, and then 2A square is just 4A square, all right? Equals, okay, hope you understand. Oh, don't forget the big bracket. The big bracket is very important, all right? Okay, after you reach here, what you can do? Well, you can't pindah this to the other side. The reason why is because of the big bracket. So let's get rid of the big bracket. And what happens when I get rid of this bracket? It means the A I have to multiply with everyone inside the bracket. And ada berapa orang dalam bracket ni? Some of you might say ada 4 orang, but actually ada 3 orang saja. Ini orang pertama, ini orang kedua, ini orang yang ketiga. So ini tiga orang kena semua darab A, right? So let's take the first thing here to darab dengan A. So what happens when I take A darab with this one? You will end up with A bracket X plus B over 2A square, right? The A cannot go inside the bracket because this bracket got square. So the only reason to times this, the only way to multiply A is just write the A outside like this. And then plus with C over A also have to times A, which is end up with C. And then this one, what happens when you times A? I think it's B square over 4A. Yeah, because when you times A, the A and the A square here, the square here will cut become 1, right? And then equals 0. Okay, so far so good. Now, we can actually move this whole thing to the other side, right? So what happens here is you will get, okay, let's see. Can I get rid of the, okay, wait, this is a bit weird. Let's see. Okay, actually, I want to erase this, okay? Actually, there's another. I I shouldn't take the A multiply actually. Okay, it's better if I throw this A to the other side straight away, right? Because if I throw the A straight away to the other side, it will become 0, right? So what you will end up here, you will just end up with x plus b over 2a square. Okay, this whole thing you can change to single fraction actually, right? How you do it is like you make the denominator same, right? So what you do is this is A, this is 4A squared. In order to make them the same, this one I will multiply with 4A, right? To make the denominator same. So if bawah darab 4A, atas pun darab 4A. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make it into a single fraction. So now it will be everything over 4A squared. And then atas will just be 4AC minus B squared, right? Did I do it correctly? 4AC minus B squared. So now this will be equal 0, right? Okay, so what I should do now? Let's see. Okay, let me think. Uh, Okay, the A can disappear already, right? Because I straight away pindah the whole thing here. It becomes 0 divide A. That's why it just becomes 0 here. So can I pindah this whole thing to the other side? Yes, right? So what it will become now? It will become x plus b over 2a square equals to this whole thing move there. So what happens here is this positive. So when you move there, the whole thing becomes negative, but I have to open bracket, and then this will be 4ac minus b square over 4a square. It means the whole thing I move there, but I have to write negative in front and I put a bracket like this. So what happens when I take the negative, I open this bracket, it will become, the 4ac will become minus 4ac, and then the negative b squared will become plus b squared, but you can write the b squared in front also, right? And then over 4a squared, all right? And now it will be x plus b over 2a squared still on this side, right? But since I'm finding x, I will pindah the square to the other side. So it will become x plus b over 2a. The square becomes square root, right? So this whole thing, I have to square root it, b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared, okay? But when we square it, we have to write plus minus in front, okay? Because this is like, how to say, when in Addmaths, when we square root, we always have to write this, right? So what happens when I square root this whole thing? What I will end up with is I will square root atas or square root bawah. I will square root both, right? It means I will write it a little bit differently. Instead of writing it like this, I will write, because I square root atas dengan bawah, so I actually square root the b squared minus 4ac, and I will also square root the 4a squared like that. So I will write like this, and then here will be plus minus, right? Actually, it's the same thing. It's just that I changed the way I write a little bit. Okay. And then now it will be x plus b over 2a equals to plus minus. Okay, the square root b squared minus 4ac, I don't think you can do anything to that. But the square root 4a squared, actually, you can do something here, because square root 4 is 2. And then square root a squared is just left with a. Because the square root and square can actually cancel each other, right? So after you reach here, you can, I will continue here. It will be x equals to the plus b over 2a. You can pinna to the other side, become negative b over 2a, right? And then plus minus this whole thing, square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And since they both have the same denominator, diorang punya bawah sudah sama, you can actually merge this, combine into a single fraction. So the whole thing, everything over 2a, and then atas will just be negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac, right? And then done already lah. Now then you can write the word shown, right? And this thing is exactly the same as this one, right? Negative b plus minus square root b squared. Yeah, it's exactly the same. So sudah siap lah. This is how you prove the quadratic formula by using the completing square method. Okay, let's continue with B. Solve the following simultaneous equation. So this is one linear equation and then one non-linear. So we should know that the atas one is the non-linear one, because got square and then the xy stick together. So this is a non-linear. The bawah one is a linear equation, right? Linear equation means the highest power is 1, right? Okay, now it says give the answer correct to 3 significant figures. Okay, if they mention this word 3 significant figures, it means your answer would be tak cantik punya answer. It means it would be an ugly answer. What does it mean by ugly answer? It means answer yang tak boleh tukar jadi fraction, right? Because if your answer is like a nice answer, they will not say something like that, right? So definitely later your answer will be an ugly answer. So very high chance you will use quadratic formula to solve later. But anyways, let's start solving. Let's start doing the simultaneous equation first. So for me, this question I will use the substitution method. It's the only way actually, because if the soalan give you two equation and one is linear, one is non-linear, you cannot use the elimination method, right? It's just impossible. You have to use the substitution method, right? So the only way is to call this equation 1, call this equation 2, and start doing substitution method. But I will start from equation 2. The reason why is it's much more easier to start from this equation, because it's very easy to how to say, make the y single ataupun the x single from here instead of the first equation. So I'll just write down my equation 2, 4x minus y minus 6, and I'll write from 2 here, right? From equation 2. So what I will do now is I will make the y single. Okay, I can make the x single also, but if I make the x single, there will be fraction, so I don't like it. So I'll make the y single, it will just be 4x minus 6. It means y equals to 4x minus 6. I'll call this equation 3, and now I'll write substitute 3 into 1. Okay, please don't write sub 3 into 2, because 3 and 2 is actually, 3 actually come from 2. If you substitute 3 into 2, it means there will be no answer. Okay, you have to substitute 3 into 1. Okay, because 3 come from 2. So now what you do is you write down equation 1, 2x squared plus 3y squared, but the y you have to open a bracket, and then minus 8xy equals to 24. And for the y, you will just substitute 4x minus 6, 4x minus 6. And now it's time to solve for x, right? And don't forget the question wants you to give in 3 significant figures. So later, you will know it's a ugly answer. So now it will be 2x squared plus, this 3 cannot multiply inside first, because you have to do square. Because if got square, you cannot expand. So what happens here is when you square, how you square it is you have to take depan punya number square, which is 4x square, 16x square, and then depan darab belakang darab 2. 4x times negative 6, negative 34x times 2 is negative 48x. And then belakang square is plus 36. And then close bracket, negative 8x times 4x is negative 32x square. This one can times because the bracket no square, right? And then negative 8x times negative 6 is positive 48x. The whole thing equals 24 lah. So now it will be 2x square. Now this 3 can go in already. So when the 3 multiply, it have to multiply with everyone. So it will be 48x square. 3 times 48, let me press the calculator. It's a 144, all right? So minus 144x. And then the finally is 3 times 36. So let me press calculator. My calculator give me 108. And then minus 32x squared plus 48x equals 24. All right, after you expand everything like this, now it's time to collect everything on one side equals 0. The reason why is because you see got square already. So when you see square means this is a quadratic. It means you have to susun jadi general form lah. So we have to bring everything on one side equals 0. And how to do that? So let's kumpulkan yang ada x square. So x square, x square, x square. So I will press 2 plus 48 minus 32, right? Which is 50 minus 32. My calculator give me 18x squared. So I'll just write 18x squared, right? And then now I will collect everything that have x. Negative 144x plus 48x. So let's press. Negative 144 plus 48. All right, it's negative 96x. So just write it down. And then finally is the number 108. But the 24 is on the other side. So I should move it here, become minus 108 minus 24, positive 84. All right, so I end up with this quadratic equation. Now we can factorize, right? But first thing first is I think I can simplify it. Simplify means divide all this number by, to make it smaller lah, to kecilkan, right? So 18, 96, and 84, actually all these numbers can divide by 6, right? So divide by 6 is 3x squared. Divide by 6 is, okay, let's press calculator. 96 can divide 6, right? Yeah, 16, right? And then the last step is 84 divide 6. Okay, my calculator give me 14, right? So yeah, right? So remember when it's a quadratic equation and if you can kecilkan means like you can take every number divide by one number, then you should do it, right? Okay, after you reach here, you can proceed with the quadratic formula, right? You cannot use the factorization method, you cannot use the calculator method because you should know that if the soalan says give in 3 significant figures, it automatics means the ugly answer. And ugly answer, we can't use the calculator method. We have to use the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, over 2a. So the whole thing over 2a, right? And what you put here and here is the b. So the b is negative 16, negative 16. What is the a? 3, 3. And what is the c? 14. Okay, I want to mention one thing here. If you didn't divide 3 and you straight away take this equation and do quadratic formula, you will get the same answer also. Okay, so even if you don't divide 3, you want to straight away substitute inside the formula, can also. Can also. Then you will write negative 96, negative 96, 18, 18, 84 here. Can also, you get the same answer. Okay, 2 times 3, 6. Negative, negative 16 is just 16 plus minus square root. Now inside here, the whole thing, I will pass the whole thing inside calculator. 16 square minus 4 bracket 3 bracket 14. Okay, my calculator give me 88. 88, right? So now I will get two answers definitely. So the first answer will be 16 plus square root 88 equal first, and then baru divide 6. Okay, my calculator give me 4.23, but they says 3 significant figures, right? So I will just write 4.23, yeah. And then the other one, the other answer will be 16 minus square root 88 equal dulu and then divide 6. Okay, my calculator gives me 1.103, but since it's only 3 significant figure, so I'll just write x equals 1.10. Okay, we follow the question lah because they want 3 significant figures. Okay, it's not over yet. I still have to find y. And how to find y? You can substitute back into equation 3. So it will be y equals 4x minus 6. And the x is 4.23 minus 6. And then calculate this. And then the other one is y equals 4 times x minus 6. And this one is 1.10. So you will get two answer for y also. Okay, the bracket here is shouldn't it be here. The bracket should be here, right? Okay, let's tekan. 4 times 4.23 minus 6. Okay, my calculator give me 10.92, but I only write 10.9. because 3 significant figures, right? The other one, 4 times 1.1 minus 6. Okay, my calculator give me negative 1.6, but I should write negative 1.60 because 3 significant figures. Remember, the 0 at the back, we actually count it as significant figure when there is a decimal point in the whole value. So remember, if the number here got decimal, we will count the 0 at the back as significant figures. So remember to write the 0 at the back. Okay, it actually counts as significant figures. Okay, if the 0 is at the front, we don't count it. In all cases, we won't count it if the 0 at the back is in front. But if the 0 at the back, we will count it only if there is decimal point. If there's no decimal point, we don't count it, right? So finally, we can write our final answer. So I'm just gonna write it here, dot, dot, dot. When x equals to 4.23, comma, y equals to 10.9. And then we can use this symbol, a dot and a comma, when x equals to 1. Oops. When x equals to 1.10, y equals to negative 1.60. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, I think this is good enough, right? 5 marks. Yep. Let's continue with question number 4. Okay, this is progression maybe. I'm just guessing. Let's see. Encik Amin starts saving 6,000 ringgit in his child's bank account as a gift for his child's first birthday. So first birthday, it means 1 years old, right? Yeah, so it means when the child is 1 years old, the child gets 6,000 in his bank account. And then the bank offers an interest rate of 5% per year. And then it says, Encik Amin hopes that the savings of his child will reach 15,000 when the child turns 18 years old. Okay, so soalan A, assuming that Encik Amin does not add any amount to the child's account, show that the situation above is a geometric progression. All right, how do we show that it's a geometric progression? Okay, if we want to show it's a geometric progression, we need 3 terms, right? We need 3 consecutive terms, right? And after we have 3 consecutive terms, we will take the third term, okay, the belakang punya term, divide dengan middle punya term, and then take the middle punya term, divide depan punya term. And if they both give you the same answer, then it's a geometric progression, right? That's the only way to prove, all right? If it's arithmetic progression, how to prove? Take the T3 minus T2, and then take the T2 minus T1 and check whether they give you same answer or not. But if it's geometric, you will divide, right? So now let's form the progression, but I need at least 3 terms. So do I have 3 terms? Okay, because we already know the first years old, I mean, like when the child is 1 years old, I'll just write 1 year old. The child has 6,000 ringgit in the bank account, right? So when he's 2 years old, how much he have? How much the child have? Okay, the bank got offer interest 5%. Okay, I know most of you will do it like this. You will take 6,000 times 5 over 100, and then you will get a new value here, right? And then you take this value plus with 6,000, right? And then you get then you get the new value, and that will be the amount when he's 2 years old, right? But if you do it like this, it's very slow. Let me teach you a faster way. Instead of doing this, you can straight away multiply with 105%. All right, because you want to calculate the value after you after it adds 5%, right? So actually it's much more faster if you press like this, right? Okay, let me explain a bit why it's 105. It's because it's increased 5%. But after you increase 5%, you still have to add with the original value, which is 100% of the value. That's why you straight away times with 105%, right? This is the fastest way. So let me press calculator. Okay, I get 6,300. It means when this kid is 2 years old, his bank account is already 6,300. That's what it means, right? And then what about when he's 3 years old? When he's 3 years old, it will be 6,300 multiplied with 105%. So 6,300 times 105 divided 100, which is 6,615, right? This is the faster way to calculate. Okay, so 6,615. Okay, and I said enough already, right? Don't have to write so many terms. 3 terms is enough. So now you can get your, okay, now you can actually show that whether it's a geometric or not. So what you do is you will take uh, I'll jadikan yang ni T1, T2, T3, and then I'll find the R, right? So the R will be T2 divide T1, okay? Okay, let's call it R1 lah, okay? And then I will find another R, I'll call it R2, which is T3 divide T2. And if I get same answer for both, then it's a geometric, right? So T2 bahagi T1, 6,300 divided 6,000. I already know it will be equals to 1.05, right? And then this one is 33 divide T2, which is 6,615 divide 6,300. And I also know the answer to it. is 1.05 as well. So now we can actually how to say, we can actually we actually already show them that it's a geometric, right? So we will just have to write since okay, how they asked it, show that it's a okay, so we can write since R1 equals to R2, comma, uh this situation is a this situation forms a geometric progression. All right, so this is how I would do it. Oh, excuse me. Of course, if they ask you to show it's a arithmetic, you don't divide lah, you minus. Okay, you will take T2 minus T1, T3 minus T2 if it's arithmetic. All right. Okay, so now it's time to do question B. Okay. Okay, let's not forget this information, because they got mentioned something about hoping that the saving will reach 15,000, right? So I'm sure it will be useful later. Okay, B says what? Can savings of 15,000 be achieved when the child is 18 years old? Show your calculation. Okay, a lot of students will do S18, which is wrong. Which is wrong, by the way. Let me explain. Your progression now is 6,000, 6,300, 6,615. So you already know your A first term is 6,000 and your R is 1.05, right? So they are asking you that whether the savings can reach 15,000 when he's 18 years old. So 6,000 is when he's 1 years old, 6,300 when 2 years old, 6,615, which is the T3, which is 3 years old. So to get 18 years old, I'm just have to find T18, right? Why don't have to find S18? Because all this value is already the original value plus with the interest. If you do S18, it will be wrong. It will not be the exact value of the savings. To get the exact value is just finding T18, because all this value you are already, how to say, take the old value plus with the interest. So T18 is what you do here. And what formula I will use here is the Tn formula, which is AR power n minus 1. This formula is the formula that we learned in this chapter under geometric progression. So the A will be 6,000 times with the R is 1.05, power n minus 1, which is 18 minus 1, which is 17. So now I'll press 1.05 power 17, and then times with 6,000. Okay, if you got pressed with me, you will get 13752. 13752, and let's write two decimal place, 1099, so 11, and don't forget to write RM, right? Remember to write RM because this is price, right? And also the calculator actually gives me many decimal place, but I only write 2 because it's price. Okay, it's savings, right? So savings, that's why I write 11, right? So now it says what? Can savings 15,000 be achieved? So what I'll write here, so we can just write that no, right? No, because this is still not more than 15,000, right? So I'll just write no. Uh, the savings, the savings uh, cannot achieve RM 15,000 when the child is 18 years old. Okay. All right. It's only worth 2 marks. So I think, yeah, I think it's fine to write like this. Okay, so Alan C. If after 10 years, the interest rate increased to 7% per year. Okay, this is interesting because originally the interest rate is 5%. So T1 until T10, the interest rate are all 5%. But after the 10 years, it becomes 7%. Calculate the amount of savings when Encik Amin child is 18 years old. And then it says, will the savings amount reach 15,000 this time? Okay, let's calculate my T10 first. Okay, the reason why you have to calculate your T10 is very easy. It's because you want to know the first term after 10 years. Does it make sense? Because after 10 years, the interest rate becomes 7%, right? So it means it will form another new progression after 10 years. The old progression punya ratio is 1.05. But now, after 10 years, it will become 7%. And when 7%, the R will be 1.07, and it will be a completely different progression. So there's actually two progression happening at the same time, right? So what I will do is I want to form a new I want to form a new progression after 10 years, right? So what I will do is find T10 supaya saya boleh tahu first term of the new progression. All right. I hope what I explaining now makes sense lah. So the T10, I will use this formula again. The AR power n minus 1. The A will be 6,000. The R will be 1.05, and then power 10 minus 1, which is 9. So let's press 1.05 power 9. Oops. Okay, power 9, and then multiply with 6,000. Okay, my calculator give me 9307.97, right? And this is of course not the answer, obviously, right? This is not the answer. This will be the what? The 10 when he's 10 years old punya savings, right? So when he reached 10 years old, I'm just gonna write here, when he reached 10 years old, the savings of this child becomes 9307.97. But guess what? When he's 11 years old, it's no longer the same percentage rate. It will be 7% because after 10 years, the percentage increased 1.7%, right? So the fastest way to calculate the 11 years punya savings is by taking this value times with 107%. So I'll straight away take this one times 1.07, right? So let me press in my calculator and see what I get. 9959.53. Okay, 9959.53. And that will be the 11 years punya savings. You faham maksud saya, right? Okay, with the first 10 years, the rate is 5%. That's why I can use the original progression to calculate. But now the interest rate changed already. And now I will times with 1.07 again to get the 12 years when he's 12 years old punya savings, right? So my calculator give me 10258. Oops, did I press wrong? Why I get a weird answer? 9959.53 times 1.07, right? Okay, 10656.69. Okay, 10656, 656, 656.69. Actually, it's 69 have to plus 170 because the next number is 7. So when you plus 1, you have to round off lah. So 10. Okay, I put an extra 6 here already. So 10656, and I will erase this also, right? So 10656.70, and then it keeps going, right? So this is when the child is 12 years old, right? So now what I have to calculate is calculate the amount when he's 18 years old. So can you imagine if I want to calculate when he's 18 years old, I'm finding T berapa? T how much? What T am I finding? Okay, let's write down the A and R first. My A will be 9307.97, and then my R will be 1.07, right? Okay, so I want to calculate after when he's 18 years old. So which T am I finding? Okay, some of you might say T8, but it's wrong. It's not T8, right? Let me tell you, it will be T9. Because look carefully, when it's T1, okay, we are looking at the new progression now. We don't look at the old progression. Okay, we will look at the new progression. When it's 10 years old, that's when it's T1. When 11 years old, that's when it will be T2, right? So T1 is when he's 10 years old. T2 will be when he's 11 years old. T3 will be 12 years old. T4 will be 13 years old. T5 will be when will be the value of savings when he's 14 years old. T6 will be when he's 15 years old, yeah, savings. T7 will be 16 years old. T8 will be 17 years old. And T9 will be when he's 18 years old. So I'm finding 18 years old. Can you see I find T9? Right? So you cannot find T8 because if you find T8, you are finding when he's 17 years old. Okay. So I hope you understand why is it T9, not T8. Okay. But of course, you want to find T8 also can. But if you find T8, you make this your first term lah. You make this your first term. Right? You don't make this your first term. So if you want to find T8, can also you make this your first term and then you will get the same answer, believe me. Okay. All right. But since I'm assuming this is my first term, the 9307.97, that's why I have to find T9. So let's use the formula AR power n minus 1. So the A is 9307.97, the R will be 1.07, and the power minus 1 will be 9 minus 1, which is power 8. Now, if we press this calculator, we will get that value. Okay, multiply with 1.07 power 8. Okay, my calculator gives me 15992.83. Okay, and that will be in RM lah. RM 15992.83. So this will be the answer. Now it says what? They ask, will the savings amount reach 15,000? The answer is yes lah. Yeah, so the answer is yes. Okay, yes. The savings amount, the savings amount will reach 15,000 this time, right? Reach 15,000. Okay. So I hope you understand why is it T9. Okay. Uh, I know in the schema they do T8, right? That okay. The reason why the schema do T8 is because they make this the first term. Okay. Yeah, but it's the same answer. All right. That's what's important, right? It's the same answer. Okay. So yep, this is how I would do this question. Hope you understand. Let's continue. Okay, time to do question 5. Let's read the question. Diagram 1 shows the position of rectangular field PQRS. So this is a rectangular field. It's a padang. And then we have PQRS. This is the padang. The field is used for physical education and health activities at school. So it's like pendidikan jasmani lah. Okay, you use the padang to do some activity. The usual activity conducted is an unconditional relay race along the line. So it's like a relay race. What is relay race? Okay, in Bahasa Melayu, acara lari berganti-ganti di atas garisan tanpa syarat. Okay, and then it says here students will be stationed at PQRS. Okay, and then the starting point is at P. Okay, this is the starting point, while UVT are the midpoints of RS, RT, QS respectively. Okay, I think I understand already. It means we are just running along the line, right? Running along the line, but it's like unconditional, so you can run. Maybe you can run. How to say? Mana-mana pun boleh lah. Just make sure you are on the track, right? On the line. But then it says here, midpoint, right? U is the midpoint of RS. So if it's midpoint, you should write 1, 1. Okay, because we are doing vector question. So in vector, ratio is very important. So I write 1, 1 like that. And then point V is RT punya midpoint. So 1, 1 also because it's midpoint. And then point T is QS punya midpoint, which is, where is it? QS. Okay, this is T, right? So this is 1, 1. Okay, midpoint means titik tengah. And now let's see what else it says here. Given that the vectors PQ is 2x plus 6y, let's label P to Q. This arrow will be 2x plus 6y, right? So done. This one QR vector is 5x plus y. Let's label Q to R, which is this one. It will be 5x plus y, right? And then the next one will be XR vector, which is x plus 5y. SR is this one. So I will draw an extra line here, okay? Because the U is blocking me, right? So I will write like this, x plus 5y. Okay, now I can do number 1, which is vector TR. So I will do it. Where should I do it? Okay, I'll just do it here. So they want me to find vector TR. It's actually very easy because T to R punya vector is it will just take TQ plus QR. Ataupun you can also do TS plus SR. Up to you. You will get the same answer, right? But I'm gonna do TQ plus QR, right? But for those that want to do TS plus SR, can also, you don't have to erase your working. You will get the same answer, right? Okay, TQ vector. How do you find TQ vector? You don't have the TQ vector, but don't forget you have the ratio. TQ is half of SQ, right? So TQ is half of SQ. And what is vector SQ? Well, SQ vector you don't have, but you can go SR plus RQ, right? So SQ vector is actually SR plus RQ. And what is SR plus RQ? SR is x plus 5y. RQ is negative 5x minus y, right? Because this 5x plus y is Q to R, but I want R to Q, right? So I have to tukar tanda lah. That's why it's negative 5x minus y, right? And now x minus 5x is negative 4x, dy 2 is negative 2x. And then x plus 5y minus 5y is just 4y, dy 2 is plus 2y, right? But of course, this is not the answer. You haven't plus with, you still have to plus with vector QR, which is 5x plus y here, right? So everything you have to plus with 5x plus y. This one also have to plus with 5x plus y. And now you will get the answer here, right? So what I will do is I will take negative 2x plus 5x, which is 3x, 2y plus 1y, which is 3y. So this should be a final answer, right? So 3x plus 3y. Okay, there's one more question they want to find, which is QU, right? So yeah, QU vector. Okay, I will erase this. I'll write near to here so that I have more space, right? Okay, so now it's time to do second question, which is the TU vector. Okay, how to find TU vector? Not TU, QU, sorry. QU vector, they want to find QU. So QU, where is QU? QU is Q here, U here. So it's actually this vector. I want to find here to here. So what I can do, QR plus RU, or you can do QS plus SU, right? Both will give you the same answer, right? but I will do let's do QS plus SU lah, right? QS plus SU. Actually, if you want to do QR plus RU can also, you will get the same answer. Okay, if I do QS plus SU, what would be the QS vector? Well, QS vector will be the same with 2 multiply with QT vector, because QS vector is here, right? And do you remember last question I actually find the TQ vector, right? So if I have the TQ vector, how to find the QT vector? Well, just take my TQ vector, terbalikkan and tukar tanda. Okay, because TQ when I terbalik become QT, right? And then I have to tukar tanda lah for the vector, right? So now to find QX vector, I will take my QT vector times 2, right? QT times 2, right? Because T is the midpoint. And then plus with SU vector, which is half of SR. So it will be 102 times SR. And SR vector have already is X plus 5Y, right? I'll straight away, right? And then it will be 2 times QT vector here. The QT vector here, I'll just refer here. So TQ is actually what? Half of SQ, all right? And then SQ is equals to this, right? Okay lah, tak apa lah, let's just do it again lah. Let's just do it again myself, right? So to get the QT, wait, let me think. Actually, I don't have to do like that lah. This is so troublesome. Actually, there's a better way to do it. If you want to find QS, you don't have to take 2 times QT, because QS is just what? It's just QR plus RS, which means the QS I'll straight away just write like that, right? It's much more easy if you do it like this. And then QR vector is just 5x plus y. And then the RS vector will be negative x minus 5y. Because this one, x plus 5y, is SR vector. But if I want RS, opposite direction, I have to change the sign here. So x become negative, 5y also become negative, excuse me. And then plus with this one, I have to divide 2 when you expand. So you get x over 2 plus 5y over 2. Okay, so x over 2, 5y over 2. Okay, now it's time to simplify. 5x minus x, which is 4x, and then 4x plus half. 4 plus half, it's 9 over 2x. All right, and then now it's for the y, it will be 1y minus 5y, which is negative 4y. What is negative 4 plus 5 over 2? You can use calculator. Let me press. Okay, my calculator give me negative 3 over 2. Right, so you're just gonna write negative 3 over 2, and don't forget to write y, please. All right, so yep, I think that's the answer. Okay, let's continue with the next part. Next part is the part B. Let's scroll down a bit. Okay, part B asks, Ahmad is at P. Okay, this is Ahmad punya position. He wants to take a shortcut and go directly to R, right? So determine whether the shortcut to R can be taken or not from P. Justify your answer mathematically. Obviously, the question says already, the activity is what? Relay race along the line. So you can only run along the line, right? You cannot run here, right? Because maybe this is the grass part, I don't know, right? So now the question is asking, can Ahmad go use a shortcut from P to R? So obviously the shortcut will be straight away run to R like that without passing through Q or passing through S, right? So if you want to do like that, we have to determine whether the shortcut to R can be taken or not from P. Justify your answer. Okay, if you want to go from P to R, we have to make sure PTR has to be collinear. Then only Ahmad can use this shortcut. You know why? Because if, let's just assume the point is like this. This is R, this is P, and the line looks like this, right? And where T is here, right? And if you walk from P to R, it never passes through T. It means it go like that. It means it's actually, you can't do like that, because if you take the shortcut like that, it means you never move along the line, because the rule here is you have to race along the line, right? So in order to make sure it's along the line, we have to make sure T has to be, when you go from P to R, you have to passes through T actually, right? Then only it's possible for him to take the shortcut to R, right? So we have to make sure it passes through T, and how do we prove that? How do we prove that? So we have to prove that the PTR, these 3 points are collinear. Collinear in Bahasa Melayu means segaris, right? So we are trying to prove that the PTR, 3 points, they are collinear, okay? Or you can also say we're trying to prove that this line and this line are parallel. That's what it means, parallel. Okay, collinear and parallel, they both have similar meaning. Okay, similar meaning. Okay, so now what I want to do now. So I will try to find any two vectors along the line. It can be any two vectors, right? It can be PT, TR, or you can also take PT, PR. Can also just take any two vectors, right? Because when we try to prove two vectors parallel, what we do is we write two vectors side, how to say, on each side, and then we will tambah k here. Okay, we will tambah k here, and after that's how we do when the question wants us to prove whether it's parallel collinear, right? But we need two vectors first of all. So do we have any two vectors along this line? The answer is we already have one, which is TR. Okay, we do it in the first question, TR vector. So let's write down the TR vector. The TR vector is, okay, what is my first question answer? 3x plus 3y, right? 3x plus 3y. So now I already get my TR vector. Another vector, I can use PT vector or PR, right? PT vector or PR, up to you, can also, all right? Both also can, right? So let's see, we have to find PT vector or PR vector. Let's see which one is much more easy to find, PT or PR. So PT will be here, right? PR will be the whole thing. So I think it's easier to find PR vector, right? Because if you find PR vector, you straight away take PQ plus QR, right? So let's find PR vector, right? So PR vector, straight away take PQ plus QR, right? So what would be my PQ vector? 2x plus 6y, 5x plus y. So it will be 2x plus 6y plus 5x plus y. Okay, let me just double confirm. 2x plus 6y, yep, the direction is already correct. This one also, the correction is correct, the direction. All right, so 2x plus 5x is 7x, 6y plus 1y is 7y. All right, so this will be my vector PR. Okay, the reason why I find vector PR is because I want to prove that these 3 points are collinear, and the only way to prove it is to choose any two vectors along the line and then prove they are parallel. And how do we prove it is we write these two vectors side by side, okay, on both sides, vector TR and vector PR, and in the middle you have to tambah k. Actually, it doesn't have to be k, it can be any symbol, right? And this symbol is what we call a constant, right? And it actually, this number here actually represents the ratio. Okay, it actually represents the ratio of TR to PR, right? So what if I never find PR? What if I do it the other way? I find vector TR, and for the other vector, instead of finding PR, I find PT. Can also, can also. It's just that you will end up, the K will come out with the different answer lah. But it's still, we still can prove that they are collinear, they are parallel, right? It's just that your K answer will be different, that's all. But the answer will still be correct. Okay. All right. Hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you here. Vector, okay, so now we can continue. Vector TR is 3x plus 3y. What you do is just write it down, and then equals to k times PR, which is 7x plus 7y. And now what you do is you take the k, you expand here, you will get 7kx plus 7ky. This will be 3x plus 3y. And now you will compare the coefficient of x and compare coefficient of y. So it will be 7k equals 3, because the coefficient of x here is 7k. The coefficient of x here is 3, so you connect them together. And then the other one, coefficient of y will be 7k on this side, on the other side is 3, and then connect them together, 7k equals to 3. And you try to find k both sides. If both sides also you get the same answer for k, then it means they are definitely parallel. If not same, means no, they are not parallel. So now this one is 307, this one 307. As you can see, the k here and the k here gives you the same exact value. So it means now we can generalize, we can make a conclusion here. The TR vector is equals to k, which is 3 over 7 PR. It means that we already proved that TR and PR memang parallel. TR vector and PR vector memang parallel. And imagine if TR and PR parallel, and R is a common point, right? R is a common point. R is the point that exists in both these vectors. It means they are collinear, lah, right? It means we already proved that TR and PR parallel, and also we already proved that TP and R are collinear. So after writing this, what we can do is we can say dot dot dot. Okay. Uh, we can say that TR. Okay, okay. Wait, let me think how should I write it. So we can write determine whether justify your answer. So yeah, we can say shortcut to R. Shortcut to R can be taken. Can be taken. Can be taken from P. Okay, can be taken from P. Because, right? Because justify your answer, right? So we have to give reason. So because. So what's the reason here? Because point P, T, and R are collinear. Collinear means Sagaris. Okay? Because when you write down this TR equals 307 PR, you are saying that TR and PR are parallel. So if TR and PR are parallel and R is a common point, so definitely they are collinear, right? So yeah, hope you understand. So this is how you do the vector question. Okay. Okay, let's keep going with question number 6. Okay, so number 6, let's read the question. The question says a clothing store produced 3 types of clothing with a monthly production cost of 68500 for 2350 pieces of clothing. So this is the cost, and then this is the total number of pieces. The cost to produce a baju kurung is 20 ringgit. And then the cost for modern baju kurung is 30 ringgit. And then the cost for baju kebaya is 40 ringgit. Right? But if you add all these values, will you get the total cost 68500? No, right? Even if you add all this, it means there is more than one baju kurung, more than one modern baju kurung, and more than one baju kebaya. That's why the cost is so, like, the monthly production cost is so many, but the cost for one is just sangat sikit saja, right? But when you add all together, you don't get this. It's because there is not just one baju kurung that is producing. Okay, the selling price for baju kurung, modern baju kurung, and one piece of baju kebaya is 30, 45, 55. So these are all the selling price, right? Yang tadi is cost, yang this one is selling price. And then it says if the profit earned by each month is this. Okay, this is the total profit. How many of each type of clothing are made? And here they give you a notes here. Selling price is equals to cost price plus profit. So selling price equals to, yeah, correct lah. Yeah, because the selling price, yep, yeah, it's true. Okay, so what I have to do now? Okay, first of all, what chapter is this? What chapter is this? It's a system of equation chapter. Okay, and it's involving 3 variable. Okay, and you have to use substitution method or elimination method, right? But before that, we have to form the 3 equation first. And whenever I teach my own student, I always say, don't focus on all this information, just focus on what X, Y, Z represent first. So the first step is writing what X, Y, and Z represents, right? And there is a very fast way to determine what X, Y, Z represents. It's by looking at the last baris. It's by looking at what the question wants you to find. So what the question wants you to find, how many of each type of clothing made? It means the X, Y, Z will represent what? Number of each type of clothing. So X represents number of baju kurung, which is the first type of clothing, right? Number of baju kurung, right? And then the Y will represent number of modern baju kurung. Okay, that's the second type of clothing. And then the Z will represent number of baju kebaya, right? It means that the X actually represents number, not price. Okay, and it's very important to write specific what number or the price or the mass, right? Some student they just write X equals baju kurung, Y equals modern baju kurung, Z tak mau. You have to be very specific in this type of question. Okay, after you write all this, now you can form your equation easily. 2300, 500, we all know that is the total number. So that one will be X plus Y plus Z. Yep, that is my first equation. Second equation come from the total cost. So the cost for one baju kurung is 20 ringgit, but it's not just one baju kurung, it's X amount of baju kurung. So it will be 20 times X plus with 30Y plus 40Z. This is the total cost, right? So the whole thing can equals to 68500, right? And definitely this is the second equation, right? So let's call this the second equation. And for my third equation, it will be the selling price. No. It cannot be selling price. It has to be the profit, which is 29750, right? So 29750. But this is the total selling price. I mean total profit. Total profit. So can we write 30x? Actually cannot write because 30 ringgit is not the profit. It's the selling price. So how to get profit? So let's use this formula. Cost price plus with profit equals to the selling price. That's what the note says. So in order to get profit, I have to take selling price minus the cost price, right? So how can I get the profit for baju kurung? The profit for baju kurung will be the selling price of baju kurung minus the cost price of baju kurung, which is selling price of baju kurung berapa tadi? 30 ringgit, and then the cost price, which is 20 ringgit, right? And then X, and then only you times with X, right? Because this is for one baju kurung punya profit. That's why you have to times with X, because there's X numbers of baju kurung. Plus with, what about modern baju kurung? The modern baju kurung selling price is 45, but they have to minus with the cost price to get the profit, which is 30 ringgit, right? And then don't forget, after you minus, then only you can times with Y. And for my last part, is the baju kebaya. Baju kebaya punya profit berapa? 55 minus, because 55 is the selling price, and minus the cost price, which is 40 just now, right? And then multiply with Z, because there's Z numbers of baju kebaya, and the total profit is 29750. So the whole thing like this, right? So now we can solve quickly to get the third equation. So 30 minus 20 is just 10x. 45 minus 30, I guess, is 15y. And then the last one is also 15, but it's 15z equals to 29750. And we can call this equation 3, right? So now we can try to solve using substitution method or elimination method. For me, I will use the substitution method because I just prefer substitution. Because if I look at these three equation and I saw satu equation yang ada x, y, z like this, I will immediately use substitution because it's very easy. Make the x ataupun the y ataupun the z single, right? So I will start from equation 1 and I'll try to make the x single. Of course, you can make the y single also can, it's up to you, right? Or you want to make the z single also can, but I will make the x single. So it will be 2350, right? Minus 2350 minus y minus z, because you pindah the yz to the other side. And we will call this equation 4. And what we do with this equation 4 is I will substitute into 2 and 3, right? I will substitute equation 4 inside equation 2 and 3. So I'll write sub 4 into 2, okay? And then later it will be sub 4 into 3, all right? Okay, let's sub 4 into 2 first. 20x, which is 2350 minus y minus z, and then plus 30y plus 40z equals to 68500. And the other side, I will do sub 4 into 3, right? Okay, is there any space down here? Okay, yes. So I think I can write here. So here I write sub 4 into 3. Because 4 actually come from 1. Equation 4 come from 1. That's why you have to sub into orang lain, which is 2 and 3, right? 4 into 2, 4 into 3. Okay, what is equation 3? 10x plus 15y plus 15z, right? But the x I already substitute 2350 minus y minus z, and then plus 15y plus 15z equals to 29750, right? So now we will solve the simplify both here and then do the simultaneous again, right? Okay, what is 20 times 2350? 47,000. So 47,000 minus 20y minus 20z plus 30y plus 40z equals to 68500. So y dengan y boleh buat. So negative 20 plus 30 is 10y. Negative 20 plus 40 is plus 20z. And then I will take 68500 minus 47,000. Okay, 21500. Of course, this is not the answer yet. This is just a new equation yang ada dua variable. So I need another equation yang ada two variable. And how do I get it? I get it from here. So now let's expand this. 10 times 2, what is this? This is 2350, right? So it will be 23500 minus with 10y minus with 10z. All right, I just take the 10 times with everyone. And then plus 15y plus with 15z equals to 29750. So y dengan y boleh buat. Negative 10 plus 15 is 5y. 10z dengan 15z boleh buat. Negative 10 plus 15 is plus 5. Right? And then the number I can move to the other side. So what is 9750 minus 3500? Okay, I get 6250. Okay, so I guess we can call this equation 5, and this one is equation 6, right? So what can we do now? We can do simultaneous equation one more time, and you can choose. You want to do substitution method can also, elimination method can also. But by looking at this, I actually want to do substitution. But if you do elimination can also, right? How to do elimination? Maybe you can take this 5y, you times 2, right? But everyone have to times 2, everyone times 2, and then make it same here. Or you can also say, take this whole equation, divide 2, can also, right? But if you do substitution, you will try to make the y or z single. and you can choose any equation you want. Okay, let's say I use this equation and I try to find z, right? Okay, let's say I make z single, right? Or you want to make y single also can. So it will be 6250 minus 5y, okay, divide by 5. Okay, so what happened here is I'll get z equals to, both these numbers have to divide 5, right? So 6250 divide 5 will be 1250. And then the 5y also have to divide 5, which is just 1y. Okay. And then I will substitute this equation 7, but equation 7 come from 6, right? But I will substitute 7, which come from 6, into equation 5. So I'll write sub 7 into 5. Okay. It means I'm using the substitution method. Okay. But actually you use elimination also can one, right? Okay. So now it will be 10y plus 20z equals to 21500, and the z is 1250 minus y. And now you can find your y. Okay, so let's calculate this. 10y plus 20 times 1250. Let's use calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 25,000, right? So just write it, 25,000. And then 20 have to times with negative y, which is negative 20y, equals to 21500. Okay, now how to find y? The y and the y here can do it together. 10y minus 20y is negative 10y. The number, I will bring it to the other side. It will be 21500 minus 25,000. Okay, it's negative 3,500. So how to find y? We'll just press 3,500 divide 10, which is 350. The negative you don't have to press also, because negative divided negative is positive, right? Okay, I already get my y. Now how to find my z? Well, you substitute back into equation 7 lah. So z will be 1250 minus y, which is 350. Now you will get 1250 minus 350, 900. So your z value is 900. And finally, you can find your x also. You substitute inside the fourth equation, right? Because that's the equation yang boleh masuk y dan z to find x, right? So I will just write here, x equals 2350 minus y minus z, right? It's come from this equation. So now we just substitute. Y is 350, z is 900. So time to press calculator. 2350 minus this. Okay, my calculator give me 1,100. Okay, so that would be the answer. Okay, but you cannot stop here, because this question that actually asks you to ask you to find how many each type of clothing made. So I actually have to write dot dot dot. I cannot just write x equals y equals z equals, because this x y z is not in the question, right? I put it myself, right? So the x can represent whatever you want, right? So it's important to write number of each type of clothing made, right? So number of baju kurung equals to 1,100. Okay, you don't have to put any unit, because it's like number of baju. So there's no unit for this. And then the next one will be number of modern baju kurung, which is y. What is y? 350. So this one is 350. And then the last one is number of baju kebaya. Baju kebaya. So kebaya equals to 900, right? Don't have to write any unit, because it's like there's no unit for this. Okay, all right, that's how you do it. Let's continue with question number 7. I think this is trigonometry chapter. Let's see. Soalan A says prove that cos square over 1 minus sin x equals to 1 plus sin x. Okay, I don't have to do it here, because the working will be very short. I will just do it here. All right. Okay, just from this, I can already tell I will be starting from I will start from the left hand side. Okay. The reason why is because it's more complicated. The left hand side is more complicated. If you start from right hand side, it will be more difficult to do, because on the right hand side there's not much you can change. Sin x is like cannot change to anything, because there's no square, there's no 2x. You can't use the basic identity, you can't use the double angle, so it's very difficult. But if you start from the left hand side, it will be easier, because at least cos square got square. Got square means can use basic identity. So you have more, how to say, more space to prove, right? Like it's much more easier to prove from left hand side to right hand side. So what I will do now is I'll try to change to 1 plus sin x. Okay, the 1 minus sin x down here, I'll just leave it, right? I don't think you can do anything with this. But cos square actually can change to 1 minus sin square, right? Because of the basic identity, sin square plus cos square equals to 1, right? Do you remember this? This is basic identity, the first formula, right? That's why the cos square equals to 1 minus sine square, right? And guess what? 1 minus sine square, we can write it like this. 1 square minus sine square x, right? Over 1 minus sine x. Why we can write like this? Because 1 square is still 1, right? That's why the 1, even we put power 2, it's still 1. That's why we can do like that, right? And we learned before that if we have a square minus b square, we can actually put this into two brackets and write a minus b, a plus b. So we can do the same here. 1 square minus sine square, we can put open two bracket and write 1 minus sine x and then 1 plus sine x. But bawah is still 1 minus sine x, right? So now we can cut this one and this one can cut, but I won't cut. I'll just cut it in my head and then left with 1 plus sine x, right? And then we write the word proven, right? Proven. Because we already changed from left hand side to right hand side, right? 1 plus sine x. Okay. Yep. Very easy. Okay, let's go to B. B says sketch the graph for this. So y equals to, okay, this one I will write it differently. I'll write it a little bit different, like this, sine x plus 1, right? But it's the same thing. And then for this one, which is x in between 0 and 2 pi. Okay. Okay, be careful. Always look at the range here, because the range here, sometimes they only want you to draw until pi ataupun 3 over 2 pi. But if they want you to draw until 3 over 2 pi ataupun pi, you will still draw until 2 pi. It's just that the final step is after you're done drawing, you erase the part yang dia tak mau lah. You erase the part yang dia tak mau. Okay. But this one, if they want until 2 pi means you have to keep everything. Okay, let's start drawing. First, sine x. What does it mean by sine x? Okay, before we draw the real one, before we draw the sebenar punya graph, we will conteng dulu. Means we buat satu lakar yang bukan like we just conteng dulu lah. Conteng beside first. So first thing first is we will focus on the sine x, which means I have to draw one cycle of sine graph. So sine graph will look like this, right? So this is how a y equals sine x graph looks like, right? Then the amplitude will be 1, here will be -1, right? And this will be 360 or 2 pi. Okay, so this is how you draw sine x, right? If the question asks you to draw y equals sine x, this is the answer. Okay, but the question wants you to do +1, right? So let's do +1. How you do +1? It means what you do is you will take all this value here and +1, +1, +1. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 0 plus 1, 1, -1 plus 1 is 0. It means you are taking the graph, you are taking the whole graph, you move up 1 unit. You move up, this whole thing, you move up 1 unit. So can you tell me where will be the x-axis? It will go down 1 unit, right? Because imagine if your whole graph move up 1 unit, if your whole graph move up 1 unit, what happens to your x-axis? Your x-axis will get pushed down, right? So where will be your new x-axis? It will be at the 0 here, which is the new 0, which is here, right? So this is how your graph looks like at the end, right? So now after I conteng beside already, now I can draw the real one, right? So let's draw the real graph. So okay, first thing first is I'll draw my y-axis. Next will be my x-axis, but I will draw it down a bit because I already know that like all my points is like above x-axis, so I can draw it like this. Okay, write x here, and then we write y here. Okay, this is x. Okay, and we only need the 0, 1, 2, so I'll just put 1, 2. Okay, there's no negative down here, there's nothing down there, right? And then we have to make sure we potong this into 4 angle, 90, 180, 270, 360. But in Addmaths, they like to use radian one, so let's use radian. 360 is 2 pi, 180 is pi, 90 is pi over 2, and this will be 3 pi over 2. And we will just follow exactly how the conteng looks like. So I'll start from 0, 1, so 0, 1, right? And then I move up here and go down, go down, go down until I reach here, right? But when it's 360, the y coordinate is 1. So it means this, what is this line? This is actually my old x-axis, right? The old x-axis. But why the new x-axis go down is because I +1. So when I +1, that's why the new x-axis move down, right? Then what about the all the points in between? All right. First, we have this point. We all know this is when it's 180, right? But when it's 180, you can see the y coordinate is 1, right? So this is the point, right? So definitely this would be the 90-degree point and 270. So when it's 90, the y coordinate is 2. So 92. Yep. And then this is 270, but the y coordinate is 0. So when it's 270, the y coordinate is 0, which is here, 270, 0. And now it's time to join all the points like this. Okay, just join it. Freehand, cannot use ruler. And then just write y equals sine x plus 1, and then you get full mark for the sketch, right? Of course, you can also use another method, because for my own student, I teach them another method, which is I will substitute this whole thing equals to 0, 1, -1, and then find the coordinate of this point. Can also, if you want to do like that, can also, but it will take some time lah. But you will end up with the same result, because when you find the point, they will give you all these points, and it will be the same answer, right? Okay, but when the graph is like easy like that, I don't like to do that working. When it's how to say, when it's easy to draw, I'll just straight away draw it, right? Because it's like not that difficult to guess the position of the points, right? If it's very hard for me to know the exact place for the coordinate, I'll usually find I will then I will do the working, right, to find the coordinate. Okay, but for this question, it's not that difficult, so I'll just do it like this. Okay, so let's see. Hence, by using the same axis, draw a suitable straight line. Okay, I have to draw a straight line. Find number of solution means find in number of intersection point for this equation. So this equation, I have to write it down. Cos square x over 1 minus sine x plus 1 equals to x over pi. For 0 until 2 pi, state the number of solution. It means I have to state how many times the straight line intersect the curve. Okay, but before we draw the straight line, we cannot just draw like that. We cannot just simply draw like that. We have to make sure we find the coordinates of the straight line. We have to find some coordinate. And in order to find coordinate of straight line, we need the equation of straight line. And equation of straight line will be y equals mx plus c, right? But the equation they give me is very weird. It don't even have y, right? So I have to make sure I have to, no matter what, change this so that it has y lah, right? Means I jadikan supaya equation ni ada y. But how can I do that? Okay, we will refer to my A and B punya soalan. Do you remember A says cos square over 1 minus sine x is equals to 1 plus sine x? It means cos square over 1 minus sine x, this whole thing can change to 1 plus sine x, right? And then plus 1 equals x over y, but it's still tak ada y. I want my equation to have y, but still tak ada y. So how? Look at my B question. B question says what? Y is equals to 1 plus sine x. It means this 1 plus sine x can change to y. Then what about the plus 1? Move over to the other side, become minus 1. There you have it. That's the equation of straight line. Y equals mx plus c. And your x duduk atas, right? It means if it duduk atas means it's a straight line. Okay, but if one day your x duduk bawah, then it's not a straight line, it's a curve. Okay, but this one is a straight line. And now you can find some coordinates to plot here and then draw the line. Okay, I will usually use the x equals 0. 0 divided by 0. 0 minus 1 is -1. So my first point is 0, -1. So I think I'll add a potongan here and then put 0, -1. The next one, you can maybe use 2 pi maybe. So when x is 2 pi, pi and pi cut, 2 minus 1 is 1. So 2 pi 1, this will be my point. And then I can draw my lines already. All right, I'll just draw it like this. Okay, or maybe some student, if you want to be more safe, you can find lagi satu point. You cari lagi satu point, then it's like even better, right? Because if you have 3 points, it's much more safe lah. Okay, so if you find one more point, you can maybe use pi, right? So pi divided pi is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So you have 3 points now. This point, this point, this point, right? And definitely when you put the ruler there, it will touch all these 3 points. Okay, it will definitely form a straight line. Okay, so finding 3 point is the safest method, right? So after joining this, you should write the equation of straight line as well. Y equals x over pi minus 1. And then finally, we can write our number of solution. So what is the NOS, the number of solution? So you can see the straight line touches the curve at 1 point, 2 points, right? So the number of solution is 2. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now we go inside bahagian B. Okay, this is a integration question, right? Bahagian B, they will ask us to jawab 3 soalan, but they give us 4 soalan to choose, right? So integration is one of the chapter that might come out in this section, right? Sometimes the integrations not always one, like, okay, but the one yang always come out in section B is linear law and probability distribution. Yang confirm keluar is these two, all right? But there's 4 questions in total, right? 2 of them confirm will be this, but another 2, it will be like Sometimes integration, sometimes vector, sometimes coordinate geometry, sometimes progression. Yeah, they will change, right? So it's not confirmed. Okay. So for this one, the question 8 is the integration. Okay. Okay, I'll do all 4 questions. I will not choose 3 to do. I will do all 4 because I'm doing this video for revision. So I will do all 4. Let's go. Diagram 2 shows part of the curve y equals negative x squared plus 7. So let's go to the curve and just label it beside negative x squared plus 7. Right? And then the straight line equation also given y equals 3 over 2x. If I am you, I will not do A, B, C straight away. I won't do that. Okay. Even for my own student, I also said don't do that. Right? You always should find out all the important points first. What do I mean by that? It means find out all the important points means find out all the x-intercept, y-intercept, and the intersection point because you will need it later. For example, this point, I can actually find this because this is y-intercept. Y-intercept means I can ganti x equals 0, but this is the y-intercept of curve. So I will ganti x equals 0 inside the curve equation and I will get 7 here, right? Then what about here? Here will be the x-intercept of curve. So I will ganti y equals 0 inside the equation of curve, which I will end up with 0 equals negative x squared plus 7, x squared equals 7, x equals square root 7. It means this is square root 7, right? And of course, this one, you don't have to show them also. Just this one I'll erase, right? And finally is the point P. Point P actually we don't know. Okay, we don't know, but we can find it actually because this is the intersection point of straight line and curve, and you have both equation, right? So to find P, you just need to take these two equation and do simultaneous. All right. And look at the soalan A, find coordinates of P. So yeah, that's what you will do now, right? Take this equation and this equation, call this equation 1, call this equation 2, and do simultaneous. But for me personally, I will just do substitution method. I'll just straight away write y equals y because they both already y is already single already. So straight away y equals y and then just write 3 over 2x equals negative x squared plus 7, right? And since the equation got square, it means it's a quadratic. It means there will be 2 answers. So what you have to do now is you bring everything to one side equals 0. So the x squared I'll move here become positive plus 3 over 2x and then plus 7 become minus 7 equals 0, right? And since my equation got fraction, I will get rid of the fraction, take everything times 2. So it will be 2x squared plus 3x times 2 will be 14 equals 0. And now time to press calculator. So let's press. So what will be the A? What will be the A? 2. What will it be? 3. C is negative 14. Okay, my calculator give me 2 and negative 7 over 2. So x equals to 2, x equals negative 7 over 2. So my first bracket will be x minus 2, my second bracket will be 2x plus 7. So since my x got 2 answer, my y will also have 2 answer, right? So my y will be what? 3 over 2x, right? You can substitute into either one, either one of these equation, you will get the same answer. Let's substitute with x is 2. So what you end up with is 3, right? So it means what is your p coordinate? 2, 3, right? I will ignore the negative answer. You know why? Because you know why got 2x answer is because got 2 intersection point, right? Because if you extend the line, this straight line will intersect the curve at another point, right? But obviously that's not the point I want. The one I want is when is point P, which is when the x coordinate is positive, right? That is why I know it's definitely 2. The px coordinate is definitely 2. It cannot be negative 7 over 2. It doesn't make sense if the x coordinate here is negative 7 over 2. That's why I just take the 2. So now I get my point P, which is 2, 3, right? So this is how you get the 2 marks lah. Okay. And since we already know point P is 2, 3, we can actually tarik satu line here and write 2, and then tarik satu line here and write 3. This is very important. Okay, because when we are doing integration, they like to ask you to find area, volume. So all these numbers here is very important. Okay. Okay, B says find the area of shaded region, which is this one. Okay, how can we find area of shaded region? First, we have to make sure this shaded region is curve tarik or straight line tarik. Actually, it's both because curve tarik from 3 to 7, but straight line tarik from 0 to 3. Okay, if you look at this line, it's a Senget punya line. It's a straight line line. It's a straight line equation. Okay, and they even give you the equation beside, right? So what you will do is to get the area of shaded region, you have to calculate this separately. You cannot straight away integrate from 7 to 0. It's completely wrong to do it like this because if you do 7 to 0 and then you integrate the curve equation, you are finding this whole thing, which is wrong, So the only way is to calculate separately. We calculate from 3 to 7, integrate curve, right? And then 3 to 0, integrate straight line to get the triangle. Understand, right? So let's go integrate from 3 to 7. But this one is the curve equation and it's dy, because I'm tarik to Okay, wait. Let me think about another way. Okay. The method I mentioned just now is integrate 7, 3, and I direct to y dy, right? It means this will be x, but this will be the curve, integrate curve. And then plus with integrate from 0 to 3, also dy, but this one is also x, but this will be straight line, right? Okay, if you do it like this, you will get the correct answer. You will get the correct answer, right? But do you realize if you want to find x from the curve equation, you have to pindah, right? We have to, how to say, because this one is y single, you have to pindah the 7 and pindah the negative and then pindah the square to make the x single, right? So I will actually do it another way. Actually, you do it like this also, you get the same answer, believe me. Okay, you will get the same answer, right? But there's another better way to do it, because when you find area, it doesn't mean that you have to tarik y-axis one. You can tarik x-axis also. Okay. And for this question, I actually saw a better way to do it, which is I will find this whole thing. It means I will integrate from, I will tarik to x-axis, right? So let's erase all these lines. So what I will do now is I will write area of shaded region. It means instead of tarik to y, I will tarik to x, right? And if you can look carefully, the lines here are straight, right? So what you will do is you integrate from 0 to 2, okay? But since you are tarik to x-axis, you will write dx here. And if it's dx here, this will be y, right? And this y, you will write the curve equation or the straight line equation. Obviously, the curve equation, right? Obviously, the curve equation, right? But if you do like this, you are finding this whole area, including the triangle here, right? That's why you have to minus with this area, right? And how to get this area? Integrate 2, 0, y dx. And the y you ganti with straight line equation, okay? Or you can use the area of triangle formula, because this is actually a triangle, right? And how to get area of triangle? 1 over 2 times base times height. The base is 2, the height is 3. So like that, right? It means for the straight line punya part, you can use integration method or you can use area of triangle punya method. There's two methods, you will get same answer. But for the curve punya part, there's no other way. You must use integration, right? Okay, 2 and 2 can cut. You just get 3. It means the area of triangle here is 3. Now it's time to get the area of the whole thing, so I can minus 3 later. So integrate 2, 0, the curve equation is given nicely already, negative x squared plus 7 dx. And now I will start to integrate. Negative x squared become negative x power 3 over 3, integrate 7 becomes 7x, and then close bracket 2, 0 minus 3. And then now I will substitute the 2 inside, and then I'll substitute 0 inside, and then minus, right? So when I substitute 2, I'll get negative 2 power 3, which is 8 over 3, plus 7 times x, 7 times 2 is 14. And then when I substitute 0 here, I'll just end up with a 0. And then minus 3. Okay, now I just press calculator. Negative 8 over 3 plus 14 minus 0. 34 over 3. So 34 over 3 is actually the what? The area of the whole thing, right? So I will just write 34 over 3. But of course, I have to minus with 3, which is the area of triangle, to get the shaded region. So what is 34 over 3 minus 3? 25 over 3. All right. So don't forget to write unit square, because this is the area. Okay. So this part is worth 4 marks. All right. Now it's time to do C. C, I think they want me to find volume, right? Okay. Find the volume of revolution in terms of pi when the shaded region bounded by curve straight line y equals 3 and the y-axis revolve 360 about x-axis. Okay, you need to know something. When they ask you to find volume, they will say region bounded by something, something, something like that. So what you have to do here is check whether the region they want is the shaded region or not. Because sometimes they give you the shaded region here, but then they want to find volume of other region. It means they don't want the shaded region. Then if you don't read carefully, you go and find the shaded region, then it's wrong already, right? So now we have to read carefully and see whether the region they want is the same as the shaded region in B. So let's see. Shaded region bounded. Bounded means surrounded. Okay, surrounded by curve y equals 3 and y-axis. So curve, which one is the curve? This one, right? This is the curve, right? And then y equals to 3, which is this line. This horizontal line is y equals 3. And then another one is y-axis. So it's this one, right? So what is the region surrounded by these 3 lines? It's actually this part. Do you agree? The one I shade with the red color pen. Is it including here? No, the answer is no. So can you see that when you do C, you actually don't want the volume of shaded region. You only want this part only, right? That is why if you don't read carefully, you go and find the shaded region, then wrong already. So they only want this punya volume, but they say revolve 360 about x-axis. Okay, for area, you can choose to use x-axis or y-axis sometimes. Okay, most of the time you can choose, but for volume you cannot choose. Volume, if they say revolve x-axis, you must use integrate dx, and the formula will be pi y square, right? But if it's revolve y-axis, the formula will be integrate dy, and then in the middle will be pi x square, right? But this one is x-axis, so dx here pi y square, and the numbers here, the bound I write here, it will be from 3 to 7. Okay, because I'm only finding this part, right? So they only want this volume, and it's just revolving 360 about y-axis. Okay, so you get a 3D shape, and this is how you find the volume. Okay, and of course the y later you have to put the equation of curve, right? So what first thing first is pi can put in front, 7 3 dx. Okay, this is y square, but the y is for you to substitute equation of curve, which is negative x squared plus 7. But this is y. I want y squared, so just put a square like this. Right? Okay, now what I will do is expand. Oops, what happened? Sorry. Okay, now I will expand this. Okay, I will expand this. All right. So what happens if I take the depan square, which is negative x squared, and then square it, I'll get x power 4. And then depan times belakang times 2. So negative 7x squared times 2 is negative 14x squared. And then belakang square is just positive 49. Right? Okay, I shouldn't write bracket here. I should write the integration symbol here because I haven't integrate. If I haven't integrate, I have to write this symbol, right? So I'm just expanding. That's why I have to write this. So now only I start integrating. Now only I will use big bracket. So integrate will be x power 5 over 5, and then minus. Integrate this will be 14 x power 2 plus 1, which is 3, divide by 3. Integrate number, you just letak x saja. So 49x, right? And then 7 3. Okay, sampai sini you boleh write pi and then big bracket, and then you open two bracket like this, right? And then tengah-tengah minus. Why you open two bracket? One bracket is for you to substitute 7. Another bracket is for you to substitute 3, right? So what happens when you substitute 7 inside? When you substitute 7 inside, you will get, wait, did I do this correctly? Y-axis. Let's see. Rantau yang dibatasi oleh lengkung y equals 3 paksi y. Is it correct if I do it like that? Not correct, right? Because it's x-axis. Yeah, it's not correct actually because, okay, sorry, class, I made a mistake. If you want to revolve x-axis dx, it means the number you want, the number you write here has to be on x-axis as well, right? So if I do like that, actually it's wrong actually, because it's like I'm revolving y-axis. Okay, so sorry, I thought the question wants me to revolve y-axis. That's why I go and write 7 3, but it's wrong already because I want to revolve x-axis, right? So it's actually taking this region revolve x-axis. So what I do here is completely wrong. So I will erase. Okay, all this is wrong. Sorry. The reason why it's wrong is because I'm not revolving y-axis. Okay, I'm revolving x-axis. So I silap already. So if I revolve y-axis, I revolve x-axis, it's actually, I cannot write 7 3 actually. I can only write integrate 2 0 because I'm taking this region, I'm revolving x-axis. It means it's revolving x-axis like that. That's why I have to write 2 0. Okay, but of course the y is still the curve equation. This will be the curve equation, right? But when I do like that, I'm finding the volume of this whole thing, right? When I'm finding the volume of this whole thing after it revolves 360 about x-axis. That's why I have to minus with integrate uh 20. Okay, integrate 20 minus with this part of the volume because I only want this atas punya part. So it will be integrate 20, it will be dx here also pi y square, but this y will be this line punya equation, which is y equals 3. Okay, so instead of writing, okay, so here I'll write pi, the pi put in front, and then 20. The y square is memang the curve equation, negative x square plus 7 square dx. And then here the pi also can letak depan 20, but the y square has to be this line because I have to minus this volume after rotate 360. So this one I have to write 3, but I have to square it, right? Because it's y square and then dx. Okay, this is the correct way. Okay, Okay, sorry, I silap just now. The one I silap is I go and put 7 3 here. So the number I write here is wrong. Because if I rotate x-axis, I cannot write 7 3. I have to write the numbers I write here has to be on x-axis, right? Okay, so yep. Okay, so nasib baik I got realized my mistake halfway. Okay, so let's do again. So how to integrate this? I think I have to expand first. So this symbol I have to write negative x squared when you square, I think it's x power 4 minus 14x squared plus 49. All right, you just do like just now lah, and then dx. And then this one is just pi integrate 2 0. 3 squared is just 9 dx. And now, since I'm already integrating, I will stop writing this symbol and write big bracket. X power 4 is x power 5 over 5. This one is 14x power 3 over 3. Integrate 49 is 49x. And then 2, 0. Right? Minus pi. Integrate number. Integrate 9 is just letak x saja. So 9x and then 2, 0. Right? Okay, after you reach here, you open 2 bracket. Okay. Why 2 bracket is because one for you to substitute 2, another bracket for you to substitute 0. Okay, when you substitute 2, it will be 2 power 5 over 5, which is 32 over 5, minus here, if you substitute x, it will be 2 power 3, which is 8. So what is 8 times 14? 112. All right, but I have to write over 3, right? So 112 over 3 plus with 49 times x, which is 49 times 2. Let's press calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 98. All right, so done already. Now I substitute 0. Okay, when I substitute 0, the whole thing will be 0, right? So I'll just write 0 and then minus pi. This one also open 2 bracket. One for you to substitute 2, one is for substitute 0. So 2 times 9 is 18, 0 times 9 is 0, and then don't forget to minus, right? Okay, now we press calculator. What is 32 over 5? Minus 112 over 3 plus 98. 1006 over 15 pi. But minus 0 tak payah tekan, and then minus 18 pi, right? So minus 18. Okay, my calculator actually give me 736 over 15, right? But it's in terms of pi, so you have to write pi units cube because it's power 3, right? So this is 1006. Okay, so yep, this is the correct way to do it. Okay, sudah siap. All right, number 9. This is linear law, right? So linear law means there will be a graph, right? There will be a graph. So let's read the question. Okay, let's read the question. Okay, so table 1 shows the values of two variables, x and y, obtained from an experiment. Variable x and y are related by this equation where a and b are constant. They give you a table, they ask you to plot graph, and then do part B, B1, B2. Okay, before you do part A, you have to do something first, right? So what you have to do now? You have to change your equation to linear form, right? Even if the question never asks you to change also, you must change to linear form, right? So where should I change it? Okay, I think I'll just do it up here lah. Can I do it up here? Okay, I'll just do it here lah. All right, so what you should do now is change the equation to linear form. So the equation is, okay, I'll just do it here lah. So it will be x square root y power 3 equals to a square root x power 3 plus bx over square root y. So when we are doing linear question, I always teach my own student, I always say, please change to linear form first, even if the question never asks you to change. Because if you don't do that, later you cannot do the part B. Okay, you cannot do part B later, because part B later, you want to find A and B, right? So what you have to do now is change to linear form. And how to change? Remember, linear form means y equals mx plus c, right? So what you will try to do now is you will try to make your equation sama dengan y-axis. What is your y-axis? You boleh tiru sini. They already said plot y square against square root x. It means your y-axis must be y square and your x-axis must be square root x. So your y-axis is y square. But if you look at your equation don't have y square. So what you have to do now? Jadikan equation supaya sama dengan y-axis. Okay, first thing first is I'll pindah the square root up here. So what happens here is I will get rid of the fraction and it will become x square root y power 3 is actually same as y power 3 over 2. Because square root is power 1 over 2. So 3 times 1 over 2 is 3 over 2. And then multiply with y equals to a square root x power 3 plus bx, right? But the square root here, I can also write it differently. I can also write x power 3 over 2. Okay. Now, y power 3 over 2 times y, which is y power 5 over 2, because this one is y power 1. Nothing means y power 1, right? So it's the same as y power 5 over 2. But does it help me? I want y square. So how? This is a bit susah. So what I should do? Let's see. Okay. Maybe I will square both sides later. Okay, tak apa. This x I move to the other side first, see what happens. So it will be a, what is x power 3 over 2 divided x? It will be x power 3 over 2 divided x power 1, which is x power 3 over 2 minus 1. But 1 is actually 2 over 2. So you will get x power 1 over 2. So you will just end up with square root x here. And then the bx divided x is b. Hey, don't forget, x power 1 over 2 means square root x. Remember that. All right. Actually, this is still not linear form because my equation is not same with the y-axis, right? So how? I want my y-axis to be y square. How to make this y square? Okay, y power 5 over 2 is the same as y power 5 square root, right? So I want it to be y square. So what to do now? Uh, should I square both sides? Does it help if I square both sides? If I square this, and then I square this. So what will happen? It will be y power 5 equals to a square root x power 2, which is a square x. And then this one times 2, which is 2ab. Okay, I don't think this is the correct way. I don't think this is the correct way. Right? Okay, let's start over again. Okay, let's start over and do it one more time, but let's do it differently this time. Right? So instead of doing it like just now, let's change our working a bit. So I want y square, right? But this one is y power 3. So why not I pindah this one become times. So it will be square root y power 3 times square root y. Hey, wait. Square root y power 3 times square root y is actually uh like that, right? Square root y power 3 times square root y, which is the same as square root times square root. So it will become one singular square root and then y power 4, right? Yeah, which is y power 2. Okay? So I actually did wrong just now. What I write just now? I read 5 over 2, right, just now. But this is y power 2 because square root is the same as power 1 over 2. All right. Okay. I think I know how to do already. It means this is actually y power 3 over 2. Remember that because square root is power 1 over 2, right? So this is the same as y power 3 power 1 over 2, which is y power 3 over 2. And then multiply with square root y, which is just y power 1 over 2 because we pindah atas, equals to a square root x. I already explained it. It's just x power 3 over 2 plus bx. All right. It means it's same like just now. It's just that just now I made a mistake here. So this one, when you times, you will take the power plus, which is 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2, 4 over 2. But what is 4 over 2? It's 2, right? So it's just y power 2, right? And then the x, I can throw it to the other side, becomes a, and then x power 3 over 2 divided x, I already explained it here. You will just end up with square root x, and then plus bx divided x is just b. Done already. This is the linear form, y equals mx plus c. Yeah, if you look carefully, the y-axis is y square, which already match. The x-axis is square root x. Okay, same already. So it means the gradient is a, the y-intercept is b. All right. So I already successfully changed to linear form. Now only I can plot the graph. But before I plot graph, there's still one more step I have to do, which is I have to locate stable, right? Okay, because now my x-axis and y-axis change already, right? So what is my new x-axis? My new x-axis is square root x, and then my new y-axis is y square, right? So here it will be square root x, this will be y square. And how many points? Okay, we just refer to the original table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 table, right? Okay, the first column here I have to write is, okay, let's draw nicely first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the first one, x 0.01, but I want square root x. So let's press square root 0.01. Okay, 0.1. Next one, 0.053, but I have to square root this, right? So let's press calculator. 0.23. Okay, so you just write 0.23. Okay. Okay lah, I think I don't have to do slowly. I straight away give you my final answer lah, 0.35. And then this one is 0.50. This one is 0.66. This one is 0.77. Y square. Okay, y square means you have to take the y value, which is 2.086, and then square it. So you get 4.35. Remember to write 2 decimal place. Okay, because this is graph. Graph question, 2 decimal place is enough. And then 1.884 square, which is 3.55. And then the rest, I'll straight away give it to you. The answer, 2.80. This one is 1.90. 0.80, and then the last one is 0.15. Okay, there's nothing to teach here. You just press calculator. Okay, so I don't think I have anything to explain here. All right, just the calculator saja. All right, now only you can plot the graph. So they got give a scale here, 2 cm to 0.1 on x-axis, 2 cm to 0.5 on y-axis. But if you look at the graph, all the value here is positive. It means you can put your 0 bottom left, which is here. But they say 2 cm to 0.1 here, right? So it should be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. Okay, yeah, it's enough space because the highest value is 0.77, right? So 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. This the highest value is 0.77, so it's actually enough space, right? So I can even put the arrow here and write square root x. Okay, this is my x-axis, right? Square root x. Yeah. So what about y-axis? The y-axis scale here is 2 cm to 0.5 on y-axis, but the highest value here is 4.35. So if I go 0.5, I have to make sure I have to naik sampai 4.5. So 0.5, but kena naik sampai 4.5. So 0.5, 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, 4.5. And then it's enough already, right? And don't forget to write, what is the y-axis? I forget already. I think it's square root y, right? Wait, it's y square. Sorry, y square. Okay, that's the y-axis. Okay, so now it's time to plot all these points inside the graph. Okay, when we plot, okay, let's draw the axis nicely first. So this is the x-axis, right? Okay, let's make this smaller so that it's easier for me to plot later. Okay, so this is the y-axis, and don't forget the title. The title will be graph of y square against square root x. Okay. So remember to write this. Sometimes I know students like to write this tajuk last kali, right? But it's just better to write now because you might forget later, right? That's why I recommend writing it now. Okay, let's make this bigger a bit. Okay, let's plot our first point. Our first point is 0.1, 4.35. Okay, I will do very fast because I don't want to drag this video. So 0.1, 4.35 is just, where's 4.35? 4.5. This one is 4.45. This one 4.4, 4.35, 4.3. But I want 4.35, so I think it's here. It means I have to turun 3 kotak kecil. 4.5 have to turun 3 kotak kecil. Because 1 kotak kecil is minus 0.05, right? It means 2 kotak kecil is minus 0.1 lah. So 4.4, 4.35. Yep, correct. Next one, 0.23, 3.55. 0.23, 3.55. So 0.23 is here, right? And then 3.55 is just 3.5. Naik satu. Yeah, naik satu kotak is correct already, right? So this is the second point. Let's check one more time. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. 3.5 plus 0. Yeah, correct. Okay, next one. 0.35, 2.8. 0.35 is middle here. 2.8 is just 3. Turun 2 is 2.9. Turun lagi 2 is 2.8. Yeah, here. Yep. Next one. 0.5, 1.9. Okay, next one is from here. 0.5, 1.9. So let's go. 0.5. Here, 1.9 is just 2.0. Turun 2 lah. Turun 2 is 1.9. Because turun 1 is 1.95. That's why it's turun 2. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. 0.66, 0.8. 0.66, 0.8. 0.66 is here 69, 68, 67, 66. But it's 0.8, right? So 0.8, where is it? This is 1, right? So where is 66 here, right? 1 turun 2 is 0.9, turun lagi 2 is 0.8. So if I'm not mistaken, I think it's here. Let's check one more time. 69, 68, 67, 66, and then 1, 0.9, 0.8. Yeah, correct. Okay, finally, my last point, one more last point. 0.77, 0.15. 0.77, it would be 797877, and then 0.15, which is 0.15. I think I have to start from here, right? So 0.77, which is 797877. Okay, naik satu will be 0.05. This one will be naik lagi 0.1, naik lagi 0.15. So I think it's here. Okay, let's check one more time. 77. So 88797877. Correct. 0.15 just naik 3. Yeah, betul. Okay, now we can draw the line of best fit. Alright, just use your pembaris panjang and try to join all these points, but make sure your line touches the most points. It's okay if it doesn't touch all the points, but just make sure it will touch the most points, right? So what I will do now is I will sambung and see whether it can touch. Of course, if it can touch all the points, that's the best lah. But if it cannot, then we try to just make sure it touches the most points. So I can already see how my best fit looks like. It has to look like this, right? Because if I adjust a bit like this, my straight line touches 3 points, okay, but all the points duduk bawah, right? But if I do it like this, it's better, right? Because if I do it like this, my line actually touches this point, this point, this point, and the last point. It's just that these 2 points tak ada sentuh, but it's balanced because one atas, one bawah, right? And it's very near also. It's very near to the line. So I already decide my best fit will be like this, right? So now it's time to uh draw longer. Means I extend the line because I have to use the y-axis later. So let's panjangkan the line. So something like that. Is this good enough? Let's see. Sentuh, sentuh, sentuh. Okay, this one maybe I just can adjust a bit. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Yep, yep. Everything looks fine. Everything looks good. So yep, I think this is the part B. Part A, 5 marks. Okay. So the title also I read it already. So now we can do the last part. Okay, which is part B. All right, part B, there's some space here. I'll use this space to do part B1. Okay, B1, find the value of square root x if y equals to 1.517. So when y equals to 1.517, you have to take this value square first. You know why? Because if you try to find 1.517 here and you tarik, you cannot do it like that because the y-axis now is y square. So you have to change this to the y-axis first. So how to get the y square? 1.517 square. So let's press calculator. 1.517 square. Okay, my calculator give me 2.30. Just write 2 decimal place. Okay, because later you have to find this in your graph, right? So let's go 2.330 and find it in your y square axis. So 2.30 is 2.5. Turun 2 is 2.4. Turun lagi 2 is 2.3. And then tarik satu dotted line. Right? The moment this dotted line touches the line, that's when you have to tarik to the x-axis. So I can see it's this point, right? So I will tarik to x-axis, and then it will give me the square root x answer. So use ruler lah, okay? Don't be like me, use ruler. During exam also you must use ruler. All right, I think it's 0.43. Okay, 0.43. So, but that's not the x value, that's the square root x value. So the square root x value is 0.43. So my square root x value is 0.43. But what the question wants? The question wants you to find what? The value of square root x, right? It means done already, that's the answer. Okay. But sometimes the question might ask you to find x, right? So if the question wants you to find x, then in this case you have to pindah the square root and then pindah the square root to the other side, then it becomes square already. It means you have to press 0.43 square. Okay, but of course this question you don't have to do it because the question only asks you to find square root x. They never ask you to find x. Okay, but you have to be careful and read carefully what the question wants. Okay, question number 2 asks you to find a and b. This is when you have to look at your equation. You have to look at your linear form, right? That is why I said in the beginning, if you don't do this, you cannot do the part B later, right? So how to find your a and b? Well, look at your linear form. How to get your a? By using gradient, because a is actually exactly the gradient, right? And then how to get your y-intercept is by using b, right? But for the y-intercept, the y have to use capital letter. Okay, so A equals to gradient, B equals to y-intercept. Okay, let's use y-intercept first. Y-intercept is very easy. You just use your eyes and see where's the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is clearly, this is 5. If you turun satu is 4.95, but my one is like much more closer to 5. Right? So I will take 5 as my answer. So B is 5. Right? Okay, for my A, that will be the gradient. Okay, gradient, you can choose 2 points from your graph and then use the gradient formula. Okay, let's choose 2 points. Okay, which 2 points I can use here? Okay, I can take 0, 0 until 0 0.5. 0 until 0 0.5, right? The reason why I take 0 until 0 0.5 punya point is because I know 0 0.5 minus 0 is 0 0.5, and it's very easy to divide 0 0.5. If okay, that's why I make sure my points is like senang untuk bahagi later. Okay, this point is 0, 5, right? But I already said my plan is to take from 0 until 0 0.5, right? But please don't take this point. Take the point on the garisan, which is here, right? Which is here. Because the line actually didn't touch this point. So you actually have to take this point, right? So what is this point coordinate? It will be 0 0.5. And then the y coordinate will be 1.9, 1.8, 1.7. Eh, no lah. This one is 1.9, 1.85. Yeah. Because if turun satu is minus 0.05, right? So 1.9 turun satu is 1.85. And then I will join a right angle triangle. Okay, I'll take these 2 points and join a right angle triangle. Okay, let me see. I think it's this line. Okay, join a right angle triangle. And then tarik here until here. And then 90 degree. Okay, so now we can use our gradient formula. It will be y minus y divided x minus x. So it will be 1.85 minus 5. 1.85 minus 5 divide with 0.5 minus 0. Right? 0.5 minus 0. So remember the tips I gave you just now. We always try, when we find gradient, we can try to find supaya kita punya x-axis punya x coordinate when you tolak, you will get a number yang easy untuk bahagi. Because if you take 0.5 until 0, it means you are dividing by 0.5. And do you know that when you divide 0.5, it's actually times 2? Betul. If you take any number divide 0.5, it's the same as taking that number times 2. That's why it's better if you, that's why I decide to take from 0 to 0.5. It's because this number is very easy. You will get a nice answer lah, basically. Okay. All right. So 1.85 minus 5 and then times 2. Okay, my calculator give me negative 6.3. All right. So that is the answer lah. Right. So just write negative 6.3 and that's how you get full mark. So 5 marks, 5 marks, 10 marks in total. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's continue with question number 10. But question number 10 is a probability distribution. So I need a lot of space to write the working. But this do I have space down here? Okay, I think I will read the question first lah. All right, I will do down here later. Okay, okay. So number 10. Let's go. Okay, do I have space up here? Don't have. Okay, let's just do it here. Okay, in Imtiaz Secondary School, 56 students are set for Addmaths diagnostic test. So this 56 could be the total. It could also be just the number of MS students. So I don't want to assume first. So let's just read the A first. The marks obtained by students are okay, normal. I think I know what this question is a normal distribution question, and I need the jadwal. And they give you mean 40, variance 144. So the A question, mean is 40, variance is 144. But since this is a normal distribution question, I know I'll be using this formula, which is Z equals to X minus mean divided standard deviation. We use this formula to convert from X to Z. So straight away, I will convert my variance to standard deviation, which is square root 144. What is square root 144? 12, right? Because in normal distribution, we don't use the variance. Okay, we don't need the variance actually. We just want the standard deviation, right? And then it says, number 1, in the diagnostic test, the student who obtain marks between 40 and 60 are categorized in intermediate group. It means the 56 just now is actually the NS, right? Right? It means this is the total number of students. Okay, then the NA will be what? The NA will be the student yang score between 40 and 60. Okay, and then it says if a student is selected at random, find probability that the student is in the intermediate group. But they want to find probability. All right, so what you do now? first thing first is I'll write down the probability of what they want is intermediate group, right? Intermediate is when the marks between 40 and 60. So I will write the in between symbol, and then I will let X be the marks. The marks have to be in between 40 and 60. So this is how we write in between. Okay. And then now I'll just convert to Z, right? Because this is normal distribution. Normal distribution memang you have to convert to Z and then tengok jadual. So how to convert? 40 minus mean, which is 40, divide standard deviation, 12. And then this will be Z, and then this will be 60 minus mean 40 divide standard deviation 12. And then you will end up with P. This one, when you press calculator, you will get 0. And then this one you press, you will get 20 divided 12, which is how much? 1.66666, right? Okay, you can only write 3 decimal place. You know why? Because when you read the jadwal, when you read the Z value you can only reach until 3 decimal place, right? That's why it's important to write 3 decimal place only, right? Okay, until here, what you do? Well, you still cannot tengok jadwal because you can only tengok when it's bigger positive. So what you do is you will draw it. Okay, you will sketch, right? So what I do, I'll just sketch it. This is my y-axis. Okay, where is 0? Here lah. Where is 1.667? Obviously positive. Here. And then I want to find in between. So I'm finding this area. So how can I find this probability ataupun this area? Well, you can take 0.5 minus, right? Usually when I teach my student, I said that if your axis, if your shaded region already potong the axis, you will take 1 minus. But this one, they actually never potong. The shaded region just touch the axis only, right? So if it's this case, you don't take 1 minus, you take 0.5 minus because half of this area is 0.5. So what you do is you just take 0.5 minus with this part yang not shaded punya part, which is Z bigger than 1.667. And then it will be 0.5 minus, this one is Z bigger positive. Then you tengok jadual. But before I tengok jadual, I just want to tell you, when you tengok jadual, you have to tengok from outside, right? Because this 1.667 is the Z value. And if you have the Z value, you will straight away go tengok luar, tengok cari sini 1.667, right? But you need this value and this value. Okay, so now let's go to the jadual. Okay, this paper got give us jadwal or not? Okay, yes, they got give us. So let's go 1.667. Tengok dari outside. So 1.667. So the value here is what? The first value here is 0.0485. Okay, and then the next value will be the 7 one, which is also 7. So what you have to do is you have to take this value minus 7. But you minus 7 dekat belakang. So you will tekan 85 minus 7, which is, what do you get? 78. So the answer would be 0.0478. That's what it means. Okay. So now I will go back to my working and write 0.0478. Okay. So let's go there. 0.0478. Okay, here. So let's write down 0.0478. And now I'll take 0.5 minus with this answer. Let me press calculator. All right. According to my calculator, it says 0.4522, right? So what is this? This is the probability. But you have to check, because in exam, sometimes they don't want the probability. They want the number of students. Ataupun they want the percentage. If they want the number or percentage, then you have to do it. Then you have to tambah sikit working. But this question, they memang ask you to find probability. Then this is the answer. Okay. Let me tell you what the student like, what the exam like to ask sometimes. They like to ask number. Instead of asking probably, they might ask the number of student. So if they ask number, you use this special formula. PA equals NA over NS. If they ask for number, it means this formula is, you do the same thing until here. It's just that you have to tambah sikit working. You do this, and then the probability you masuk yang ni lah. The NS you masuk 56, and then the NA you just take the probability times with 56. All right. But this is only if they ask for number. But this question, they never ask for number. So this is the final answer already, right? So we don't have to do something extra. It means this 56 actually is useless, right? It's useless for this question, right? It actually doesn't have any use. Okay, Tapa, let's do number 2. See what number 2 wants. So given that 58%, so this is definitely the probability. Because percentage, automatic is talking about probability one. So 58%, which is probability, is the probability of student that set the diagnostic test, pass the test. So this 58 is the probability of passing. Calculate the minimum mark for the student to pass in the diagnostic test. So 58% pass. So how? Okay, where should I do the working? I think I should do it here, down here, because I need a lot of space. So number 2, so A2, A2, the probability of something equals to 0.58, because 58% means 58 divided 100, right? But then here it says that it's the probability of student pass, and then it says calculate minimum mark to pass. So it means that I can let X become the marks, and then bigger sama dengan K, right? It means K represents what? K represents the minimum mark to pass, right? K represents minimum mark to pass. That is why when the marks is more than or sama dengan the minimum mark, that means you pass lah, right? So minimum the symbol is bigger sama dengan, right? So P probability of marks more than the minimum mark to pass is 0.58. Yeah, makes sense, right? Okay, now you have to convert to Z lah. But let me tell you, this type of question you cannot baca jadual macam tadi. You cannot baca like just now where you tengok dari luar, tak boleh. This type of question you have to baca dari dalam. You have to straight away go dalam and find the value, because this question that we don't know the exact value. We only have the final, the answer at the back. The answer at the back is the probability. So that's why you have to tengok dari dalam. Okay, because you don't have the exact value. Okay, but first thing first is change the K, change the X to Z first. And how to do that is take the K minus mean divide standard deviation. I forget what's the mean. Let's scroll up. The mean is 40, standard deviation is 12. So minus 40 divide 12 equals to 0.58. And after you reach here, you will let C equals to K minus 40 over 12, right? Whenever dalam sini tak boleh buat, I always tell my students, just let C equals. And then now you will get PZ bigger sama dengan C equals to 0.58. And since you don't have your Z value, and you also don't know whether it's positive or negative, you have to draw two bell shape, right? Because you don't know whether it's positive or negative. So the C can be negative, the C can be positive, right? But you have to lorate first. Lorate means you have to take out the symbol bigger, right? Bigger means you have to lorate ke kanan like this, right? This one also lorate sini. And you will not, only one of these is correct. It cannot be both correct at the same time. Only one of these is correct. So how you know which one is the correct? I usually teach my student, I said, look at the area. Look at the area ataupun look at the probability, right? Probability and area is the same thing. So if the area here is more than 0.5, you choose the big punya. So besar punya kawasan. So now you see it's bigger than 0.5, you choose the big punya kawasan. That it means this is the correct one, this is the wrong one. Okay, it doesn't make any sense for the area here to be more than 0.5, right? Because this is less than half. Okay, half the bell shape is 0.5. So this is definitely less than 0. That's why this is the correct one. It means your C is actually negative. And if your C is negative, you can't tengok jadual. You cannot, because you can only tengok when it's Z bigger positive. It means what you have to do now is straight away go to your last baris, tulis siap-siap C equals negative dulu, because you will forget later, right? So you will kosong a few baris, go to the last baris, tulis yang ni siap-siap dulu, and then here you write 1 minus. The reason why you take 1 minus is because your shaded region already potong the axis like this, right? And when it's potong, you have to take 1 minus. 1 minus, yang you tak mau lah. Yang you tak mau apa? Yang ini, yang saya bulat. Because 1 is the total area. So you minus the part that you don't want. The part the part that you don't want is the PZ, smaller part, negative C. But you don't write the negative, right? But deep down you know it's negative. You just didn't write it, right? You know it's negative. So 1 minus PZ smaller than the negative C equals 0.58, right? And then smaller negative can change to bigger positive, because symmetrical, smaller negative can change to bigger positive, right? And then after you reach here, okay, this C equals negative, I have to write down a bit. After you reach here, you can pindah this negative to the other side, become positive, so it become PZ bigger C, and then this part will be 1 minus 0.58. Okay, and you can press calculator here. 1 minus 0.58. Apa you dapat? Let me press 0.42. Okay, 0.42. Okay, and now you can tengok jadual, because now your C is already positive, and now you can tengok jadual. But when you tengok jadual, I repeat one more time, you cannot straight away go outside and find 0.42, because the 0.42 is not the exact value. 0.42 is the answer punya value ataupun the probability value, ataupun you can say the area. So you have to tengok dari dalam actually, and you have to straight away cari 0.42 or lebih sikit. Okay, so let's go to the jadual now and find it. 0.42 or lebih sikit. Okay, I already find it. 0.4219. right? I cannot take this one because it's like smaller, kurang. So it has to be lebih sikit. So, but this is 0.4219. I want 0.42. So I have to minus 19, right? So let's see, do I have 19 here? Yes, right? So the answer will be baca, baca, baca. It means the answer will be on the outside because I'm trying to get the Z value. So the answer is 0.225. But very important, have to put negative. This is what student always careless, okay, always forget to put negative. So 0.225, let me go back here, but have to put negative. Okay, why have to put negative? Because just now you already do experiment, you already know the C is negative, that's why. Okay, so remember, when you find out that your C is negative, you should always tulis siap-siap the negative, or else you might forget and then you lose marks because of that, right? So C is negative, but the soalan asked me to find minimum marks, which is K. So I have to ganti back. C is actually K minus 40 over 12 equals to negative 0.225. So now I can find my K. Let's write now negative 0.225 times 12 plus 40. Okay, the answer is 37.3. Okay, it means what is the minimum mark to pass the test? It's 37.3 lah. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, wait, let me check with the schema. Okay, my schema give the schema give a little bit different. Okay, did I do something wrong here? 0.42. Wait, let me just check a bit. Zm minus 40, 0.42. Okay, okay. Okay, the schema give me 37.58, right? But it's very near, right? It's just like 0.02 difference. The difference is 0.02, but I want to know why. I want to know why is it different. Okay, let me check again the jadwal. Is it, did I baca the jadwal correctly? 0.42 or lebih sikit. Zero, ya lah, correct lah. 0.42 minus 19 mah. So it will be 0.225. Yeah, I think I did everything correctly. 225. 0.225. Let me press one more time, calculator. Negative 0.25 times 12 plus 40. Okay, I still get the same answer. So I'm just gonna stick with my answer. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just stick with this lah. All right. I think I did everything correctly. Okay, let's continue with B. Okay, B and A is completely different, even though it's the same question, but it's not related one. Okay, it's not related. Okay, so B, let's see, read the question. The survey also found out that 80% of the school students are interested in Addmaths. Okay, if 9 students was randomly selected, find the standard deviation. Okay, why I say A and B is not related? Because in exam, they always like to ask in this format. It means they will give 2 parts. Okay, one will they will ask binomial, another one they will ask normal distribution, right? And since A they already asked normal, my guess for B is they will ask binomial, right? And I was right. They really ask binomial distribution, because how you know it's a binomial distribution question is when they never say the word normal, when they never mention the word normal in the question, right? And this is binomial, right? And under binomial distribution, we will not be using the jadwal, right? So this 80% is the probability. Okay, probability of something is 80%, which is 80 or 100, so 0.8. But probability of what? Interested in Addmaths, right? Interested in Addmaths. So I will just write interested lah, interested. So what is the probability of not interested? It will be 1 minus 0.8, which is 0.2. When we are doing binomial distribution question, it's always important to determine the N, P, and Q, right? N is the total number of trial. P and Q is the probability of success and failure. So definitely these two is the probability. But we still don't know which one is the P, which one is the Q, right? We don't know which one is probability of success, which one is failure, right? But we have to keep reading. Okay, 9 students was randomly selected, so N equals to 9. Soalan A says, find the number 1, the standard deviation of students who are interested in Addmaths. So there you have it. You know already the probability of success is the interested one, which is 0.8, and then probability of failure is 0.2. And in order to find standard deviation, you will use this formula, square root NPQ. So 9 times 0.8 times 0.2. This is the formula for standard deviation in binomial distribution, square root NPQ. So 9 times 0.8 times 0.2, and then square root the whole thing. So you get 6 over 5, or you can say 1.2. Right? Okay, next part is question part 2. Find the probability that at least 4 of the students are interested It means your N is still 9. Your probability of success is still the interested one, which is 0.8. And then the Q is 0.2. Then what about the at least 4? Okay, don't worry. We write down the big X first. Big X means all the possibilities. Out of 9 students, maybe 0 success. It means 0 interested. Okay, interested means success. Huh? Or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? It means out of 9, maybe 0 success, 0 interested. Ataupun 9 student, satu saja yang interested, satu saja yang success. Or maybe 9, 9. 9, 9 means what? 9 of the students success. It means 9 of them are interested, right? These are all the possibilities. But they only want to find probability that at least 4. It means 4 is included. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It means I have to do px equals 4 plus px equals 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. Add all the answers together, right? Or you can do it another way, which is find the, since I'm finding px bigger sama dengan 4, at least means bigger sama dengan, so I can do it another way, which is take 1 minus 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, because total probability here is 1, right? So I'll take 1 minus yang saya tak mau, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll get the balance, all right, which is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, if you want to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like that, can also, you'll get the same answer. Okay. Okay, so now there's a lot of stuff I have to write. So let's go. So I'll write equal here. So it'll be 1 minus px equals 0 will be 9c0. Okay, the formula I'm using now is this one. I'm not sure if you remember this formula or not. It's px equals x equals to ncx, p power x, q power n minus x. Right? This is the formula I'm using now. This is the formula in binomial. This is the formula you learn in binomial distribution. So 9c0 p power x, which is 0.8, power x, which is power 0, and then 0.2 power 9, minus px equals 1, so 9c1 bracket 0.8 power 1, 0.2 power 8. Okay, next one will be 9c2, 0.8 power 2, 0.2 power 7. Okay, last one will be px equals 3, 9c3, 0.8 power would be same with number down here, which is 3, 0.2, atas minus atas, 9 minus 3, 6. Okay, okay, time to press calculator. So 1 minus 9c0 and 0.8 power 0, no need to tekan, that one is 1. So just press 0.2 power 9. Okay, my calculator give me 0.000000512. Okay, so it's 0.0000000. Because my calculator give me times 10 power negative 7. Okay, and the decimal is here. So if you move 7 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, correct. Yeah, this is correct. Okay, minus with next one is 9c1, which is 9 times 0.8 times 0.2 power 8. Okay, my calculator give me times 10 power negative 5 answer, which is like, so is this time it will be 0.4 zeros only this time. So 0, and then 18432. Okay, because it's times 10 power negative 5. That's why it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, next one. Next one will be 9c2. Let's tekan times 0.8 power 2, and then times 0.2 power 7. Okay, my calculator give me 10 power negative 4 this time. So it's 0.000 30 this time. And then 2949. I hope students know how to read when the calculator give like that. Okay, so it's just that you have to move the decimal point 4 times, okay, to the left because it's negative. Okay, last one, 9c3 times 0.8 power 3, and then times 0.2 power 6. Okay, it's also 10 power negative 3, so it means 2 zeros, 0.00, and then 27525, so 2753. Yeah. Okay, now finally we can go for the final answer. Just 1 minus everything. 1 minus 0.000000512 minus 0.000018432 minus 0.0002949 minus 0.00273. Okay, 0.9969. That's what the calculator gives me. So you just write it there. So this is the probability answer. Is that what they want? Is that what they want? Probability find the probability, yes. Okay, because sometimes they don't ask for probability, they might ask for percentage ataupun number. Okay, if they ask for number, use this special formula. Okay, the special formula is, I already erased just now. If they ask for number, you use this special formula. Okay, if they ask for number. But if they ask for probability, then this is the answer. If they ask for percentage, you times 100. Okay, that's how you convert decimal to percentage, you times 100. Okay, so that's it. Let's go. All right, number 11. Let's read the question. Diagram 3 shows a sector OPQ. So OPQ is a sector. So definitely this is the radius, this is the radius. So if they are both radius, it means they are the same length. It means I can get the panjang here, which is x minus 5. Because the whole radius is x, right? So this will be minus 5. And then it says angle POQ is 0.8 radian. Let's label POQ. Oh, they already labeled for me, 0.8 radian. The point S lies on OQ. Let's see. S lies on OQ, okay. Such that OS is 5 cm. Okay, we know that already. But if you look at OS, is actually the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle, right? Because there's a 90-degree. And then it says point R lies on OP. Okay, R lies on OP. Such that ORS is a right angle. Okay, this is important because when we have right angle, what formula we can use? We can either use Pythagoras theorem, okay, or we can also use trigo, which is the Socato formula. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, let's skip all this. Let's see what else, what information they give here. Area of triangle ORS. Where is ORS? The triangle, okay, is 1/5. It means 1/5. Okay, 1/5 means 1/5 of the area of sector OPQ. I think I should write this down. This is so important, right? Okay, I'm gonna erase this and I'm going to write here area of sector OPQ. All right, sector OPQ is equals to 1/5 because it's 1/5, right? Eh, sorry. Area of triangle ORQ. Triangle ORS. So area of triangle ORS is 1/5, 1/5 of the area of sector OPQ times with area of sector. Sector OPQ. This is the information. And then says find the area of sector OPQ in terms of x. Hence, show that x is equals to this. So it means they want me to show. It means this is the answer. This is the answer. So what I have to do now is I have to try to find the area of sector formula first lah. I mean, I have to find area of sector OPQ first. But I have to make sure it's in terms of x. Lepas tu baru saya cari x sendiri. And I want to show that it's equals to this. Okay. All right. So first thing first, let's find out the area of sector. Okay, which formula I'll use? 1/2 r squared theta. This is the formula I'll be using. So it will be 1/2, the r will be x, right? Because the radius sector is x, and then the theta in radian is given 0.8. So you will get 0.4 x squared. But of course, this is not the final answer yet. This is just, you just express the area of sector in terms of x. So this is what the first thing the question wants me to find. Okay, and I find it already. This in cm square, right? And then the next thing is show that the x is equals to this. Okay, how can I show that the x is equals to 8.837? Well, by using this information is the only way actually. Yeah. But by using this information, we all know that the 0.4 x squared we can ganti inside here, which is the sector OPQ, right? But what happens when you want to substitute this part ORS? We have a problem, right? Because ORS area, you 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 actually can't find it now. You can't find it now because this is a triangle that has 90-degree. And usually I tell my student, if the triangle got 90-degree, we will use this formula 1/2 times base times height, right? But of course, you can also use the other formula, which is 1/2 AB sine C, right? Where A and B is any two sides, and then C is the included angle, can also. But usually, if 90-degree, it's much more better to use this formula, the 1/2 times base times height. But the problem is I don't have the height and I don't have the base, right? 5 is not the what do you call it? 5 is not the base height. So what I should do now? I can use trigo, right? I can use Socato to find this side and this side, but I cannot use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so let's see. First thing first is convert the 0.8 to degree first. Because when you do trigo, when you do SOHCAHTOA, the angle has to be in degree. So how to convert is taking 180 times 180 divided by pi. So let's see what I get. 0.8. Okay, for the pi, I will just use 3.142. Okay, because circular measure is always 3.142. Okay, 45 degree, 49 minutes, which is 50 minutes lah. So I'm just gonna write 45 degree, 50 minutes. All right, this is the angle in degrees. And now I can use SOHCAH or TO to find these two panjang. Okay, to me, I will find SR first. So if I want to find SR, which one I will use? It means I'm finding the opposite, but I have the hypotenuse. The adjacent I don't have, right? So if I want to find opposite and I have hypotenuse, it's definitely sine, right? Because right? So sine 45 degree 50 minute equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is the SR length, hypotenuse is 5. So you can find the SR panjang easily now. Just press calculator, sine 45 degree, sine answer lah, and then times 5. 3.586. So this is the panjang here. Then how to find the OR panjang? You can also use trigo, which is you can use cos, but there's a better way. You can use Pythagoras theorem now because you already have the remaining two sides. So use Pythagoras theorem is better. So it will be 5 square minus 3.586 square. Why minus is because you're not finding the longer side. That's why you have to minus. Right? So 5 square minus answer square and then square root answer. 3.4839, which is 3.484. So 3.484. Okay, 3.484. 3.484 cm. So this is 3.484. But the question wants me to show that the value of x, right, is equals to this. So I have to find x. And x is the radius of the big sector. So how? In order to find x, I have to use this formula lah, right? So now I can use this formula, the area, right? So what I'll do is I'll just continue my working here. The area of ORS, I can find it already. It will be 1/2 times base times height. The base, I find it already, 3.484 times with height, which is 3.586. And then the whole thing equals to 1/5 times area of sector. But area of sector is 0.4x squared, right? But of course, I have to times with 1/5, which is the same as dividing by 5, right? And now I can just bina and then find x. And hopefully my x is equals to this lah. If it's not equals to this, I'll be very sad because it means I did something wrong, right? Okay, so let's calculate this whole thing first. Let's press calculator. 3.484. I'll just use the answer button lah, times 3.586 divide 2. 6.247. Actually, it's 2466, but 247. But it's fine. I can use the answer button later. And then this one is 0.4 divided 5, which is 0.08 x squared. And now I want to find x. So I will pin out the 0.08. So 6.247 divide answer, which is 78.0875. So my x will be square root answer 8.837. Okay, actually it's 8.836, but the next digit is like more than 5 already. That's why when I round off, it's 8.837. All right. So luckily, my answer is the same as the answer they want me to show here. So correct to 4 student figure. So yeah, this is the answer. All right. So this is enough for you to get 5 marks. Okay, Surasya. Now it's time to do B. B says perimeter of PQSR. Where is PQSR? PQSR. So this one. So how many lines I have to pass to find the perimeter? Only 4 lines, right? So the first line is the SR, and then SQ, and then PQ, and then PR. So let's do it here. So perimeter of PQSR. So I already know some lines here, right? I already know the SR line, which is 3.586. Okay. And then plus with what? Let's say I plus with this SQ line. But do I have the SQ line? I don't have. But the SQ line is actually x minus 5. And the x I already have. 8.837. So what is 8.837 minus 5? You can press calculator. 3.837, right? So the next line is 3.837. So I already plus this line. I already plus this line. The next line is the arc, right? Okay, how to find the arc? I will use the formula S equals R theta, right? So R theta formula, the radius will be X, which is 8.837, times with the angle in radian, which is 0.8, right? This is how you get the arc length. And then plus with the last garisan, which is the PR line. How to find PR line? Very easy. Just take the X, which is 8.837, minus with the 3.484. Yep, that should give you the answer. All right, let's press. Uh, okay, this one I'll just copy it first. 3.586. This one also I just copy it. Okay, this one I will press, and then this one I will press. Okay, let's press. 8.837 times 0.8. Okay, 7.0696. And then this one is 8.837 minus 3.484. 5.353. And then just add everything lah. Plus 7.0696 plus 3.837 plus 3.586. 19.8456. 19.8456. Okay. You can also write 4 significant figure, means 19.85 lah. Okay. But actually, if you write more, it's better. The reason why I write more than 4 significant figure is because the calculator, it never give me a lot of decimal place. It just stop here. So when it's just stop here, I will just write extra for them. Okay, it's better, right? If you want to stop at 4 significant figure, it's fine also. Okay. Okay, but for me, usually I'll write 4 significant figure when the calculator give me many decimal place. Right? But if it just stop here, it means I'll just write the whole thing lah. Okay, because it okay, but if it doesn't stop, it just keeps going, then I will just write 4 significant figure. Okay, C. Find the area of PQSR, which is the same area just now. Okay, I think I have to take area of sector minus area of triangle. Do you agree? Because area of wait. PQSR is, oh yeah. PQSR is this one, right? So we cannot find the area directly. You have to take area of sector minus the area of triangle. But the area of sector bukan sudah ada ke? Area of sector is 0.4 x square, right? So straight away I will just put 0.4 x square. But the x I have already, 8.837. So 8.837 square minus with the area of triangle, which is 1/2 times base times height. But I do it just now already. It's 6.247. So I'll just straight away do it like that. Right? I don't have to be so rajin do it again, right? I already have it, just masukkan saja. So time to press calculator. 8.837 close bracket square times 0.4 minus 6.247. Okay, my calculator give me 24.99. Yeah. So I'll just write 24.99, all right? And then cm square. Okay. Okay, some student might ask, sir, can I write 25? Okay, I would say yes, but I don't recommend it, because when you write in 4 significant figure, it's 24.99. So that's what I will do. Okay, I don't recommend rounding off to 25. Okay, but I feel like can also lah. But it's better to write 4 significant figure. Okay, so I'll just stick to this answer. Okay, okay, sudah siap. Let's go. Okay, this is bahagian C. Okay, bahagian C, they give you 4 questions and it's always fixed. The 4 questions will be kinematics, linear programming, index number, and last one is solution of triangle, right? These 4 chapter will be in section C, right? And I will not do the kinematic soalan, okay? It means they ask us to jawab 2 soalan, right? But I will jawab 3. These 3 soalan. Linear programming, index number, solution of triangle. Question number 12 is kinematics. So I will not answer this question, right? I will jawab 3, okay? But in exam, you only jawab 2, All right, number 13. Okay, this is solution of triangle. Very obvious, right? Solution by scale drawing is not accepted. Okay, this one not important. Just skip that. Okay, diagram 4 shows a prism with rectangular base ABCD. So ABCD. So this is actually a 3D question. So it will be very difficult, right? Because solution of triangle, sometimes they will ask 3D. So this they ask in 3D. DFB is a shaded region plane. Okay, DFB. Okay, in the prism, the inclined surface ABEF is parallel to AB. Where is it? ABEF is parallel to AB as viewed from X. Is a square with sides 14. So are they saying that the ABEF is square? I think so, right? So 14, 14, 14, 14. And you should know if they are square, it should be 90 degree. This whole thing also 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. right? All sides. Same with the base, because the base is a rectangle. So it should be 90 also, okay? But I don't want to write the 90 lah, okay? But I will remind myself that all this angle here is 90, 90, all is 90, okay? And then where I read just now, the incline AB is parallel to AB as viewed from X is a square with sides 14, okay? And the inclined surface CDFE is a rectangle, CDFE. So it should be 90 as well here, okay? 90, 90, 90. Even though it doesn't look 90, but it's still 90. The reason why it doesn't look like 90 is because it's a 3D diagram. But all these angles should be 90. AFD is a uniform cross-section of the prism. AFD is a uniform. Okay, okay. So far, so good. It is given that angle ADF is 47. Okay, ADF, this one. Okay, I think I have to draw my how to say ADF triangle separately, because it's like so hard to label inside here, right? ADF ah. Oh, it's talking about ADF, not BDF, ADF. So it's talking about this angle. So I will just take out the angle like this, take out the triangle like this, because it's a 3D diagram. So I recommend students to do this when it's a 3D. So this one is 47. So the 47 is not just here, it's including the whole thing, right? So I will just write here 47. FAD is 55, which is here 55. So can I find this angle? Yes, 180 minus 47 minus 55. Let's tekan calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 78. So I have all three angles already. But the panjang, do I have it? Actually, yes, I have the AF 14. So I can transfer the 14 here also. So actually, I can use sine rule to find FD and AD. Okay, I can use sine rule because I have all three angles and I have one pair, right? But let's see what they want first. So Alan A, find the length of DF. Yep, using sine rule. So DF, because when you use sine rule, all you need is the opposite of what you want and one complete pair. And you have the opposite of DF, which is 55. And you also have one complete pair. So very easy. DF over sine 55 equals to the complete pair, 14 over sine 47. So easily you can find the DF. Just press calculator. 14 divide sine 47, close bracket, times sine 55. 15.68. Okay, I will write in 4 significant figures. So 15.68 centimeters. Okay. Okay, now we do B. B wants you to find the area of shaded region. You have to take out this triangle. You have to take out this triangle, or else it will affect your judgment, because this is a 3D diagram. So let's take out this shaded region triangle, which is the BFD triangle. So BFD. And in order to find area, the formula we use here is 1 over 2 AB sine C. What is A? What is B? What is C? A and B is any two sides. C is the angle in between the two sides. So do I have any two sides here? FB punya panjang don't have. BD punya panjang don't have. DF punya panjang don't have also. And then angle, do I have any of this angle? Don't have. The 47.55, I cannot put it in here. I don't think you can. Yeah. So that is a big problem, right? Okay, so how to do it? Let me think. Okay, first thing first, can I find the BF panjang? Yes, because this is 90 degree. And if you look carefully, this is a right angle. So I can do Pythagoras theorem. Square root 14 square plus 14 square, right? I will plus because I'm finding the longest side in the right angle triangle. So what is 14 square plus 14 square? Press calculator and then square root answer. Okay, 19.80. 19.80. So that should be the length of BF. But I need more information. It's still not enough. It's not enough for me to find area. So I need more. So how? Let's see. What I can do now. Can I find this panjang? Very difficult, right? What about this DB panjang? Also very difficult. But DF panjang just now I have already, right? 15.68. So I think this DF I can write 15.68 lah, right? But I still need some angles here and I don't have the angle. So how? Hmm. Is there any way that I can find this panjang? Because if I can find this panjang, I can use cosine rule to find the angle. Because I hafal already. For cosine rule punya case is when they give you two side included and then find this one, you can use cosine rule. Another case where you can use cosine rule is when you have all three sides and you want to find any angle inside. So make sure you memorize this. For cosine rule, there's only two cases you can use cosine rule. When you have two sides and one angle in between and you're trying to find the remaining side. This is case number 1 to use cosine rule. Case number 2 for cosine rule is when you have 3 sides, find angle. So my goal here is will try to find is to try to find this length, because if I have this length, I can find any angle. Then I can use this area formula already. But how to find BD? That is the issue here. That's the problem here. So BD, how to find? Let's see. Okay, if I want to find BD, I know this is 90 degree, so definitely this is a right angle triangle, right? So I can use Pythagoras theorem, but the problem is I need this panjang. Do you agree? So if I have here, I know it's 14. Here I know, here I don't know. So, but if I have here, I can use Pythagoras theorem to find DB. So now my job is try to find AD. And how to find AD? Actually, I can do it by using this triangle, right? And I will also use sine rule because I have opposite of AD, which is 78. So AD over sine 78 equals to the complete pair, which is 14 over sine 47. So I will find AD using the other triangle here, right? So now let's press calculator. 14 divided sine 47 times with sine 78. Okay, my calculator give me 18.72. But of course, this is just the AD panjang, all right? AD panjang is here, 18.72. What I need here is the BD panjang, right? So to get the BD panjang, I have to use Pythagoras theorem. Square root 18.72 square plus with 14 square. Why plus is because you are finding the longest side in the right angle triangle. So let's press answer square plus 14 square and then square root the whole thing. 23.38. 23.38 will be my BD panjang, right? But I still need the angle to find the area. So now since I have 3 sides already, I can use cosine rule to find any angle. You can find any angle because you have all 3 sides already. So any angle will help you, can help you to find the area. So let's say I want to find this angle lah. So if I want to find this angle, how to find this angle using cosine rule? Okay, first of all, let's talk about the cosine rule formula. The cosine rule formula is like this. A square equals B square plus C square minus 2BC cos A. I hope all of you is familiar with this formula. This is the cosine rule. And the cosine rule, you have to be careful because the B and C, if you terbalik tak apa one, the B and C you terbalik tak apa. You silap tulis BC tak apa, but the A cannot silap tulis because if the A silap tulis, the whole thing wrong. And I always teach students how to determine which one is A. Which one is A? The one opposite angle will always be A. So which one is the opposite of the angle you want to find? DB, right? Because if you want to find this angle, then this will be your A. So it means I will continue down here. 23.38 will be the A. So 23.38 square equals to the other two lines square, which is 15.68 square plus 19.8 square, and then minus 2 times with 15.68 times with 19.8 times with cos that angle, which is the cos DFB. Or you can call it BFD, DFB, BFD. Just make sure F in the middle, right? So this is how I will use the cosine rule to find the angle I want. So now what I will do, okay, I will bring the 15.68 here and bring the 19.8 to the other side. It means I will press 23.38 square minus 15.68 square minus 19.8 square, all right? So I will get negative 91.30. And then the other side just left with negative 2 times 15.68 times 19.8, which is negative 620.98 cos DFB. So how to find cos DFB? This negative number divide this negative number. So 91.30 divide answer. You don't have to press the negative pun tak apa because negative divide negative is positive. So you get 0.1470. Okay. And now you can find your DFB, all right? But actually your DFB got two answers because if your cos positive, it means you'll be first quadrant and fourth quadrant because add sugar to coffee. So cos positive is first quadrant and fourth quadrant, but you can ignore the fourth quadrant answer because how can a fourth quadrant exist in a triangle? It's not possible, right? That's why I will straight away I will just straight away shift cos and then straight away take the angle 81 degree 33 minute. Okay. 81 degree 33 minutes. But I want all of you to know that there's actually another answer, which is 360 minus this one. Okay, the quadrant 4 answer. But I never do it because I know I'm doing this chapter, this solution of triangle, there will not be fourth quadrant. Okay, so since I have my DFB now I can find my area. So the formula is 1 over 2 AB sine C. Okay, what is the AB? It will be any two sides, but in this case, I will use 19.8 and 15.68. So 19.8 and 15.68. And of course, the sine angle, the angle has to be in between these two lines, which is the angle DFB, which is the angle I find just now, 81 degree, 33 minutes, right? So now time to press calculator, and then I will get the answer. So sine answer times 19.8 times 15.68 divided 2. Okay, my calculator give me 153.544. So 153.54 maybe. 153.54. Okay. Okay, let me press again. Sine 81 degree 33 minute times 15.68 times 19.8 divided 2. Okay, if I use the answer button, I get 153.54. But if I never use the answer button, I press just 81 degrees, I get 153.55, right? And when I look at the schema, it says 153.55. But I want you to know, it's very normal to get the answer not exactly the same as the schema, but very near. Okay. So actually, if you press with me, but you don't use the answer button, you just press sine 81 degree 33 minute times this and then divide 2, you will actually get 153.546, which is 153.55. Yeah, so I'll just stick with this answer. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes many people, they will press differently. Sometimes they will use the answer button, sometimes they won't. So it's very normal to have a little bit difference in this chapter. It's normal. Okay, I just want you to know that. Okay, let's do the last question. Soalan C, find the shortest distance. Okay, you don't have to think. If they say shortest distance, straight away you will definitely use this formula. 1 over 2 times base times height. It means you will use the area formula to do this question. Remember, in solution of triangle, in the exam question, they like to ask shortest distance. And I always tell students, if they want to find shortest distance, you will use area to do this question, which is, but you will not use the 1 over 2 AB sine C formula, you will choose the 1 over 2 times base times height, right? But let's see which area of triangle I'm finding. Which triangle punya area saya kena cari. So they want the shortest distance from F to DB. So definitely we are talking about this triangle, right? F to DB. But guess what? We already have the area of this triangle. We already find it just now by using the 1 over 2 AB sine C formula. So it's 153.55, right? But now I want to find shortest distance from F to DB. So let's draw a shortest distance from F to DB using red color. So shortest distance from F to DB will be the perpendicular distance. Because shortest distance, it has to be 90 degree, right? So now what I'll do is I will use the 1 over 2 times base times height, but I will let which one will be the base? 23.38 will be the base. And then height, the reason why I want this to be the base is because so that the height will be the shortest distance from F to DB. Because if I make other lines the base, then my shortest distance will be different with what they want already. So that's why I will take 102 times base 23.8 times this height equals to the 153.55, because 153.55 is the area of triangle, right? It's just that I do it just now using another method. Okay, and now I can find the H, which is the shortest distance. So I'll just press 153.55 divide 23.38 and then times 2. Okay, my calculator give me 13.14. Okay, let me press again. Yeah, 13.135. So 135 is 14, right? So make sure you write in cm because that's the unit, right? So that's the answer. Okay, so I repeat one more time. In exam, when you do solution triangle, you see the word shortest distance, automatic, this formula have to come into your head. 1 over 2 times base times height. Okay, use area to find shortest distance. Okay, because when we find area of triangle, we will use this formula, 1 over 2 times base times height formula, when the triangle got 90 degree. But when the triangle don't have 90 degree, then we will use this 1 over 2 AB sine C, right? But whenever they say the word shortest distance, automatic, it means 90 degree already. Shortest distance has to be perpendicular. That is why this you have to use this formula. Okay, all right. I hope you understand. Okay, number 14 is definitely index number. All right, so let's do it. Table 2 shows the price and price index. The price symbol we use Q. Price index symbol is I of 3 type of ingredient A, B, C used in the production of a type of chicken ball. So you need 3 ingredients to make chicken ball. All right, this is the price in 2020. So I will call this the Q 2020. This is the price also. I'll call it the Q 2022. Price index, I'll just call it the I. But this is 2022 based on 2020. So it's 2022 atas, 2020 bawah. Right? Always put the latest year atas. And then the older year, you put bawah. Weightage will be the W. So just call it label W here. Okay, soalan A says the price of ingredient B. Okay, if they got mentioned the word B, it means this is an important keyword. It means this question we are only talking about ingredient B, right? So later I can only tengok the B punya baris. Okay, but what if the question never mentioned A, B or C? It means very high chance you have to take the average, the composite index, right? But if they got mentioned keyword, then we have to take the B one. So the price of B increased 40%. It means the I is 140 lah, because increased 40%. But from what year? 2022 to 2020. So this is the I lah, right? So number one says state the value of X. Well, the X is 140 lah, because X is actually the price index for 2022, 2020, which is 140 lah. You already write it just now, right? So that's how easy it is. And then number two is find the value of Y. Where is Y? Y is this one, right? So you can use the first formula for I, which is Q1 over Q0 times 100, right? Price bahagi price divide 100. So let's use this formula. So the I will be the formula is price bahagi price times 100. But do you take 7 divide Y or Y divide 7? Of course, it's 7 divide Y, because 7 is the older year punya price. It's the latest year punya price, 2022. So 7 over Y times 100 equals to 140. Okay, because the index number is 140. So now you can find your Y. First pindah the 100. 140 divided 100 is 1.4. And then how you pindah the Y? This one you can tukar tempat. It means the Y you can pindah atas jadi times, and then the 1.4 you can go down become divide. So now you just press 7 divide 1.4. Okay, so 5. But I have to write RM this one, because this one is price. Yang tadi tak payah, because just now is price index. Price index tak ada unit, but this one have unit. Okay, it means that the Y and 1.4 they just tukar tempat, right? Okay, sudah siap. Now we do B. Okay, B I don't have space. I'll just do it here. Calculate composite index for making chicken balls 2022, 2020. So if I want to find the composite index, means I'm finding I dash for 2022, 2020. So what is the formula for composite index? It's actually the sum of I times weightage divide the sum of weightage. So let's use this formula to find the composite index. So I will draw a very panjang punya garisan, and then I'll take the I times with the W. But we have to make sure the I punya tahun match with the tahun year, because if the year doesn't match, I cannot do it, right? So obviously it matched now lah, 2022, 2020. So 180 times 5, write it down, plus with X, which is 140, times with 2, and then plus with the next one is 187.5 times 3. Divide total weightage, 5 plus 2 plus 3. 5 plus 2 plus 3 is 10. And then this, the top one, I can use calculator. 180 times 5 plus 140 times 2 plus 187.5 times 3. So I got 1742.5. Divide 10, 174.25. Right? So the answer I get here is 174.25. All right, that's how you do part B. Very easy. Now let's do part C. Okay, can I skip this part? Okay, let's read. Given that the composite index for making fishball increased by 20% from 2022 to 2023. So for question C, they give us information for composite index, but it's for 2023 based on 2022. So the latest year have to put atas always, and then increase 20% means 120. So this composite index and this composite index is not the same. This year is different. Their year is different, right? So now let's see what they want. Number one says calculate the composite index for making chicken balls in the year 2020 based on 2019. So I want to find composite index for 2020 based on 2019. Well, actually, you can use the smiley face method, because you have the 174.25. This is for 2022, 2020, and then 23, 22, you have new one. So to get 2019, you use smiley face. And also, you look at the question, you can tell this question has 3 years involved. 2022, 2023, 2019. So the smiley face. Do you remember how to do smiley face? You put the old year here, right? But you have to start from the oldest year, which is 2019, followed by 2020, and then 2020. Wait. 19, 20. Wait, there's 4 years. Yeah, there's 4 years, right? So how? 19, 20. Okay, this one I have to put 2022 or 2023. I think I have to put 2020. Okay, let's try putting 2023. Okay. Wait, 20. Wait, it doesn't make sense, right? Why got 4 years? 2020, 2019. Hmm. Okay. What if I put 2022 here? Then it's not possible to find 2020, 2019 already, right? So definitely this one must be 19 and 2020. It's just that this one sahaja yang saya tak pasti. Okay, let's just put 2022 and see what happens, right? So if I put 2022, the 174.25 is the composite index for 2022 based on 2020. So the 174.25 can write here. And then 20 over 19, which is this one, I can find it. I want to find this. And then the 120, can I write down here? The answer is no, right? So I think it's very clear to me that I need to write 2023. But if you write 2023 also cannot write because 2320 you don't have, right? So actually, I think you have to do smiley face 2 times. Yeah, I think you have to do smiley face 2 times. The first time is for uh 20, 22, 23. It means this one I have to erase. Yeah, I have to erase the whole thing. Okay, because since I have this and this already, the first thing first is do one smiley face 1 time for 2022, 2023, and 2020 first. Yeah, I think that's the first smiley face, right? So I will write 2020, and then 2022, 2023, right? So 2020, 2023, and then 2322 is 120, right? And then 2220 is 174.25. And to get the bawah punya part, 2320, I will take so the formula is to get the composite index because this one and this one also I ganti the composite index. So definitely wait, let me think. 2020 based on 19. This is interesting. How can I do this? Okay, tak apa lah. I'll continue first. So it'll be 23 over 20 equals to 120 times 174.25 divide 100. So let's press and see what I get first. 209.1. But this is very weird. This is very, very weird. Okay, I feel like I did something wrong, but then what I did wrong? 2020 based on 2019. Uh, let's read the Malay version. Okay, the Malay version and the English version is different. Can you see it? It says here the meningkat sebanyak 2019 hingga 2022. But in the English version is 2022, 2023. So I think the English version is wrong, right? So I think I have to redo everything. So let's follow the Malay version lah. Because when I follow the English version, the working just get weirder and weirder. And I never see this type of question before where I have to do it like that. So I'm very confident that there's something wrong with the English version. So let's just follow the Bahasa Melayu one, right? So the Bahasa Melayu one is actually says what? Dari tahun 2019 sampai 2022. So the composite index gubahan is actually for 2022, 2019. But in the English version, it says 2022, 2023. So the English version is definitely wrong lah. And then what they want now is 2020, 2019, right? So the composite index for 2019. So yeah, you can actually do it just by using one smiley face because there's only 3 years. Where got 4 years? 19, 20, 22 saja, right? So something wrong with the question. Okay, the English version salah. Okay, so 2219 is 120. And then the 174.25 is 2220, which is this one, right? So now I can find this easily, right? So how to find it? Okay, the formula is always like this. Out of these 3 lines, the longest line, which is the down bawah punya part, 120, is always equals to yang atas times together divide 100. So it will be 174.25 times with this value, and this value actually represents the composite index for 20 over 19 divide 100. So to get the composite index for 2019, I will take 120 times 100 divide 174.25. Okay, my calculator give me 68.87. Ini baru betul, right? So remember to follow the Bahasa Melayu version, not the English version, because something wrong with this question. The English and Malay version is not the same, right? So that's why I tak dapat just now lah, okay? Okay, so this is how I do the C1 question. Let's do the C part 2. Okay, C part 2 says what? Let's read the question. The cost of making one chicken ball was 20 cents. So this is definitely talking about price, cost, right? So Q 2019 is 20 cents. So RM 0.20. Okay, comma, find the maximum number of chicken balls that can be produced using budget 90 ringgit in the year 2022. I think first I have to find cost in 2022 first, right? After I find the cost 2022, then only I can find the number of chicken balls, right? Betul lah. Because the number will be uh the cost divide with 20 cents, right? So now my job is to find the cost in 2022, then only I bahagi 0.2 to get the number, okay? But when I'm finding cost, I will use the first formula, which is price bahagi price times 100. Okay, because when in this chapter, whenever you find price, it's always this formula. This is the only formula that you can use to find price. But this one is cost lah in this case. So the year for this case will be 2022 atas 19 bawah. So obviously, the I here have to be 22 or 19 also. But guess what? It will be the composite index. Because this one is chicken ball. They never say which ingredient. So definitely we have to take the average. So do we have the composite index for 22, 19? Yes, 120. So it'll be 120 equals to price in 2022, which is saya nak cari, and then Q19 is 0.2 times 100. Okay, now let's calculate Q2022 first, right? But this is not the answer yet. Wait, we tekan dulu. Okay, the calculator give me 0.24. Okay, 0.24. But let's see. 100 divided times 9. Wait, how? The cost of making one chicken ball was 20 cents in the year. Huh. Okay, if this one is 0.24. Okay, let's read the question one more time. The cost of making one chicken ball. One. So, one chicken ball, 20 cents. Find the maximum number of chicken balls that can be produced using budget of 90 ringgit. Let's see. That's index. So the composite index we know, right? The weightage also we have. Cost for one is 2019. Okay, by doing this, I'm actually finding the cost of making one in 2022, right? But they say find the maximum number that can be produced using budget of 90 ringgit. So I'll just take 90 divide 0.24, right? Okay. And I get 375. So yeah lah, correct lah. Yeah lah, correct lah. I did everything correctly already. I don't know why I'm not confident with myself. So I do everything correctly already. So the 20 cent is the cost of making one chicken ball in 2019. And my plan earlier was to find the cost to make one chicken ball in 2022, which I find it already is 24 cents. But since they say they have a budget of 90 ringgit, what is the number of chicken balls? So the number of chicken balls will be 90 ringgit. Okay, the number of chicken balls will be 90 ringgit because that's the budget. Divide by price of one chicken ball, 0.24, and you will get 375. It means the maximum number is 375 chicken balls. Yeah. So yeah, correct already. Okay. So I don't know what I was thinking earlier. Actually, I did everything correctly. So yeah. So 10 marks for this question. Okay, hope you understand. All right. We are at our final question, number 15. Okay. So this is linear programming. You'll be using graph paper. All right, let's see. A company hires Y local workers and X foreign workers as their new employees in 2023. So we have foreign, we have local. Okay. Foreign, we have X, local, we have Y. X foreign, Y local. The company's policy state that the new employees must be more than 120 workers. New employee. Which one is new employee? Okay, I don't know, but let's just read first. The new employee. Oh, it means they never mention is foreign, or it means the total lah. So I think I can write down my first inequality. X plus Y must be more than 120. Okay. So X plus Y must be more than 120. So I have my first inequality. Okay, where I should write it? Maybe I write it here. Because soalan A, they says write down 3 inequality, right? So I already saw my first one. Okay, the first inequality here is X plus Y bigger 120. Okay. Okay, we cannot write bigger sama dengan, because this one they say more than, right? More than. So actually like this, I don't have to put a line. And then such that the number of foreign worker I already know is X, right? So I will straight away write X. At most pun means smaller sama dengan. So smaller sama dengan 3/5 times the local, which is Y. So 3/5Y. So X smaller sama dengan 3/5Y. And then the next one says the government has allocated at most. At most means smaller sama dengan 211,200 for the company provide salary to new company. The company decide to give salary 6,700 per month for foreign, 1,760 per month to local. So foreign, the salary is how much? 660 ringgit per month to one foreign worker, but there's X amount, so times X lah. This one is 1,760Y. And then I think you plus together. Yeah, you plus them together. Okay, so it will be the third inequality, which is the last one. 660X plus 1,760Y have to be smaller sama dengan. Yeah, because this is the total, how to say, the maximum amount. 211,200. Let's check monthly salary, right? So yeah, yep, I think I did everything correctly. But this one you can kecilkan, right? And always I tell my students, if can kecilkan, you kecilkan. Okay, all these numbers can divide by what? Let me use calculator to check. Okay, you can actually divide by 220. 660 divide 220 is 3x. Okay. And then 1,760 divide 220 is 8y. And then smaller sama dengan 211,200 divide 20, divide 220, 960. Right? Okay, I want to mention one thing here. It's actually very rare to see the question tak bagi, because most of the question in linear programming, the inequality sign have the line bawah one. Okay, most of the time, like I can say 99% of the time, the linear programming question mesti ada line bawah one, right? It's very rare yang tak ada line, because yang tak ada line punya, they will not ask in Addmaths, they will ask in Matematik. And when dia tak ada line, we have to use dotted line. We have to use dotted line to draw. When dia tak ada garisan bawah. Right? But this question is actually very special. Yeah, so later there will be one dotted lines. Okay? Okay, so now let's do B. So this is the A answer. B says using a scale of 2 cm to 10 on both axes, construct and shade the region. Straight away go to the axis. Okay, actually we have to find points first. We cannot draw graph first, right? We have to find points. So what I'll do is I'll change all these sign jadi equal. So X plus Y equals 120, and then find 2 points. And then X equals 3/5Y. Cari 2 point. And then 3X plus 8Y equals 960. Cari 2 points. And usually these 2 points, you can find any 2 points you want, but I will, most of the time, I'll just find X equals 0, Y equals 0, because these points is very easy to plot. When X is 0, it's 120, Y equals 0, 120 also, okay? But if later not enough space for me to plot, or like, if let's say the point I cannot plot, then only I change to another point, right? You can use whatever point you want, huh? All right, next one, X equals 0, Y equals 0. If this one I ganti Y equals 0, I get X equals 0. So this one I will just, I don't find it first. Okay, later baru saya cari. This one, when X equals 0, Y equals to 960 divide 8. Let's press calculator. Okay, 12. Okay, the calculator actually give me 12. Not 12 lah. 120. Sorry, 120. And then for the Y, when Y equals 0, what I get? 960 divide 3, 320. Right? But I feel like can't plot 320 in the graph. It's like, how to say, the graph is not big enough, but it's okay. But let's just stop here and then go label the axis first. So 2 cm to 10 unit on both axes. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I think you can start here, right? You can start here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then x-axis. This is the x-axis, right? Okay, so let's call this x. For my y-axis, it will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So this is my y-axis. Okay, let's draw the y-axis. Okay, actually, if it's this case, there's a lot of points that I cannot plot. There's a lot of points that I cannot plot. For example, the 120, 0 memang tak boleh plot langsung because 0, 120 is like, yeah, how can you plot that, right? And then 120, 0 also you cannot plot. So both these points, I have to change to another point, right? Change to other points, right? So, yep, what points you want to change? Okay, you jangan ganti x equals 0 lah. You can ganti x equals 20 maybe, right? Because when you ganti x equals 20, your y will be 100, correct? Because 20 plus 100 is 120. So, yeah, it becomes easy to plot. 20, 100, where's 20, 100? Let's plot nicely, 20, 100. So that will be the first point, right? And the next point, you can maybe put x equals 80 maybe. Let's try 80. If I put x equals 80, what happens? My y will be 40 because 80 plus 40 is 120. And 80, 40 is also easy to plot, right? 80, 40. So remember, next time, if during exam you cannot, if the point is like, you cannot plot because the scale is not enough, then you just erase and change to other points, okay? You boleh tukar any points you want. And now you have to draw this line, but make sure you join nicely and make sure you touch, how to say, the line got passes through these 2 points, okay? And use ruler during exam. And make sure you bring the pembaris panjang. All right. So this is the answer. So let's write the equation. X plus y equals 120. Okay, next line will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's plot. This is 0, 0. The next point, I didn't find it just now. So let's find it now. X equals 3 over 5y. So let's try to substitute y with maybe 80. See what happens. So it will be 80 times 3 divided 5. 80 times 3 divided 5. What is the answer? 48. So yeah, I think it's fine. Because if your y is 80, your x will be 48. And you can plot 48 easily actually. 48 is just 50 ke kiri 2 kotak. Okay, and make sure it's at 80, yeah. So 48, 80. So yep, it's here. It's here. Oops. So 50 and then 49, 48. Yeah, this one. This is the 48, 80. Okay, let's check one more time. For y equals to 80, 80 times 3 divided by 5, 48. Yes, so 48, 80, 50. Yeah. And now we can join these two lines lah. 0, 0, and oops. 0, 0, 0, 48, 80. Okay, this one, let's make it. Passes through 0, 0. This one has to passes through 48, 80. Yeah. So let's write the equation. X equals 3 over 5y. Okay, sudah siap. For my last point, 0, 120, 320, 0. Okay, this one also, both these points cannot plot because it's like out of the scale already. So let's use another, let's find other points. Okay, if x equals 0 cannot, then maybe I use x equals 20 maybe. Let's just try lah, let's just try. Okay? So what happens if I put x 20, 3 times 20, 60. 960 minus 60, and then divide 8. I get 112.5, which is not very good because 112.5 is a bit hard to plot. So let's not use 20. Let's maybe use 40. Let's try with 40, see what happens. So if x is 40, 40 times 3 is 120. 960 minus 120, and then divide by 8. 105. 105. Is 105 easy to plot? I think, yeah, you can plot 105 easily, right? So 40, 105. Where is it? 40 is here. 105 is here, is 100. So 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. So yep, this one. Correct. 40. Yep. Okay, now I need one more points. So what I can find? Okay, I used 40, 105 just now. Maybe I can use 80, maybe? Let's try with 80. See, tengok boleh ke tak? So if x is 80, what is 80 times 3? 240. And then 960 minus answer and then divide 8. Oh, I get 90. So this is also not bad. 80, 90. Yep, you can plot this easily. 80, 90 is just here, right? So now you have 3 lines already. So now you can garis. Okay. So let's use ruler to garis. So this is the okay, let's make sure I pass through these 3 lines. Okay. Let's panjangkan this line. Panjangkan. Okay. Nice. Oh. Okay, okay. All right. So, yep. Wait. Did I follow the scale they give me? 2 cm to 10 unit. Yeah, I got follow, right? 2 cm. Like this is 2 cm lah. Yeah, I did everything correctly, right? But I don't know why. It just feels like why we have this big space that we are not using. I'm not sure. Okay, but whatever lah. I think it's correct already. Okay. Actually, I think there's something wrong with the scale lah. Because 2 cm, maybe they want 1 cm to 10. If 1 cm to 10 is better actually, then it will be enough space already. But it's okay lah. Okay, nothing much I can do. So yeah, okay. So now I will write the equation 3x plus 8y equals 960. Okay, 960. And then this one will be my what is this? This will be my equation, right? Okay, I should how to say? Okay, the equation I don't want to write here. I want to write somewhere else. I want to write uh x plus y 120 is this line, right? Wait, why is this so confusing? X plus y 120. So 20, 100, 80, 40. Which line? 20, 100, 80. This line, right? This one I seal up already. This equation is shouldn't be here. This is x plus y equals 120. And then this line, x equals 3 or 5, is this line. This one, yeah. So let's panjangkan. 48, 80. Okay, so this is x equals 3 or 5 point. And then this one I will erase. Okay, and then the last line is 4105 punya line, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, this one. So this line is baru saya boleh tulis 3x plus 8y equals 960. But to be honest, I think there's something wrong with the scale already. Because if the scale like this, it's like, yeah, it's like outside the graph already, right? So it doesn't make sense. Okay. Even if if I put my 0 down here, then this thing will be then I think this thing will be I think my graph will look better, right? But they should how to say make sure the scale is like suitable to the graph. Okay, but it's okay lah. Nothing much I can do. Okay, I'll just continue from here. So let's try to shade the region now. So I think we can besarkan diagram already. So when we shade, we have to look at the symbol. Oh, by the way, this symbol is bigger, so I have to use dotted line. So the x plus y 120 must use dotted line to draw. So I didn't use dotted line just now. So let's change to a dotted line. So it will be look like this, something like this. Okay. So dotted line, dotted line, dotted line, dotted line, dotted line. But you have to use ruler. Okay. I cannot use ruler in my laptop, but you have to use ruler. Right. So it will look something like this. Oops. Is there any way I can use dotted line here? Okay, never mind. I can't. So it's fine lah. All right. So I'm just gonna delete this. Yeah. So something like that. All right. So dotted line. Okay, and also we have to shade the region. So x plus y bigger something like 120. You have to remember. You have to make sure y is positive, and then tengok from y. So the symbol here is bigger. So the symbol here is bigger means I have to choose atas garisan ni. So your r can be here, can be here, can be here, can be here, right? And then the next inequality, we have to tengok daripada y. You can see your y is already positive, but it's on the other side, so you have to tengok dari sini. So the symbol here is bigger, not smaller, bigger. So which line? The x3 or 5 punya garisan is this line, but it's bigger. So if bigger means I have to erase this 2r, right? Because it's bigger, right? So automatic is not the r bawah here, right? And finally, this inequality, tengok dari y sudah positif, tengok dari sini is smaller. But which line? This line. So if it's this line smaller, then it's very obvious already. So where's your r? The triangle lah. This is your r. This is your r, right? So yeah. And this one you just erase. Okay, sudah siap. Let's go. All right, now we can do part C. Let's go. C1, they says find the range of local workers if 40 foreign are hired. So if they want to find range of local, means they want to find local minimum and local maximum. But I forget already which one is X, Y. So we can refer here. Foreign is X, local is Y. So if 40 foreign means 40 is X. So when X equals 40, and then we have to find the Y minimum and the Y maximum. Kenapa? Because they want to find range. Range means you have to write your answer in this format. Like that, in between. Here you have to write the minimum value, here you have to write the maximum value. That's why you need both minimum and maximum. Let's go to the graph and cari X equals 40. I think it's here, 40, right? Nasib baik I can baca the answer. So let's use dotted line. X equals 40, just use a ruler and then garis. So which one is the minimum? You have to look at the shaded region. The first contact point with the shaded region, that will be the Y minimum. So the first contact point with shaded region is here. So when you tarik to the y-axis from here, that will be the Y minimum. This 80 is the Y minimum, right? So this one I read 80 here, the minimum. Then how to get the Y maximum? Well, you just keep going keep going, okay, until the final, until you stop here. You will not keep going because there's no shaded region here already. Remember, minimum means the first contact point with shaded region. Maximum means the last contact point. So the last contact point with shaded region is here. And then when you tarik here, you will get 105, I think. 101, 102, 103, 105, right? So your maximum Y is 105. It means your range will be Y in between 80, 105. This is how you write the range, right? Okay, sudah siap. Now time for number 2. State the maximum span of the company provide salaries to foreign workers if the number of locals hires is 80. Local is X or Y? Local is Y. So when Y equals 80, definitely I can find the X value, right? But X maximum or X minimum? Okay, they say maximum spent. Maximum spent. Let's think about this. 80. Okay, let's see. Y equals 80. Okay, I think what they want here is the maximum span of the company to provide salaries to foreign. So they want to find maximum span to provide salary for foreign workers if the number is 80. So if I want the company to provide maximum salary, I have to make sure the employee also maximum lah. Betul tak? Because the more lagi banyak employee, lagi maximum lah your spending. Your spending will be lagi banyak. So when Y equals 80, I'll find the X maximum, right? And then after I find my X maximum, then I will take the XY ganti dalam this equation, 3X plus 8Y, alright? No. Not this. This one, 660X plus 1760Y, right? To get the maximum salary, right? Because if I get the X minimum here, it means the salary is not maximum, right? So if I want the company to spend more to give salary, I have to make sure the number of employee also is like maximum. So let's go to Y equals 80 and find X maximum. So where is Y equals 80? I think it's here. Y axis 80. And then I'll tarik satu line. The moment maximum, right? So maximum means I cannot stop here, because this is just the first contact point of the schedule region. So this, if I tarik from here, it will give me the X minimum. I want the X maximum, so I'll keep going and I will stop here, right? But student always ask me like, sir, how you know how to stop here? Why not keep going? All right, maximum. So you stop at the final contact point of the shaded region. If you keep going, there's no shaded region already, right? So you always refer to the shaded region, right? So It means where you stop depends on your shaded region. It depends on your shaded region. So this will be the answer. All right, so let's keep tarik bawah. Okay, just keep going. So this is your y maximum, okay, which is 48, right? Okay, 48. Okay, so I repeat one more time. When y equals 80, I'm finding the x maximum. That's why I never stop here. I keep going until the last contact point of the shaded region, then only I tarik bawah. So that's the 48. So that's the x maximum, 48. And now I can find the maximum spending of salary. So I'll just write maximum salary. So I'll just write maximum salary. Okay, for salary, I remember for one person, one foreign is 660, right? But times with x, so times with 48, and then plus with 1760 times y, which is the y is 80, right? So just press this whole thing, you will get answer in RM, right? So 660 times 48 plus 1760 times 80. Okay, my calculator give me 172480. Okay, so that's the answer, right? So hope you understand. I think that's all right. Yeah, there's no more question here. All right. See you next video. Bye bye.